wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
Yo. Oh, here I am. Get out of there, guys. Welcome back. Happy new all-time highs for those who celebrate. As always, we're going to sit here for a couple hours. We're going to trade the markets. We're going to talk about the markets. We've got our boys Josh and Kevin coming in a little bit later to continue to trade the markets and talk about the markets. So all in all, exciting morning. Again, we're breaking through all-time highs. We got a lot of earnings that we can take a look at here as well. Most of them doing great, doing fantastic. So yeah, let's just get to it. Let's just talk about what's going on here in the markets. Which again, so new all-time highs, easier to look at, I guess, if you do the ES. You can see breaking just barely yesterday's highs here after kind of what we thought would happen all day. It took a long time, but I remember sitting here chatting with you guys saying, hey, if we break this pre-market range right here, I kind of expect a potential slow grind higher. And that's what we got, right? There wasn't like a huge whoosh, especially if you go to like a 5-minute chart here. You can see it a little better. And near the end of the day, we got some good buying, but mostly just this slow upward grind. And today we're getting a little bit more of that kind of whoosh. And the reason that that's important is because when you have big explosive moves up, it's more likely that you have more explosive reversals than that. If you're grinding slowly higher, at least in my experience, you see less of that really, really quick move down. And a lot of this is going on. Nice little pop there. A lot of this is going on because we've got a lot of important earnings, and important as in health of the economy, right? Not just the AI kind of trade. Although, you know, we mentioned QCOM live here when this thing popped up. I hear that guy's getting interviewed here now, but what we're looking for is more of this. Let's take a look. The UPS that did earnings. This is again a huge underlying interest to the economy as a whole. And a lot of people could guess why, I'd imagine, where, you know, yes, what, you know, if XYZ biotech goes up or down, or quantum computer goes up or down, or drone company goes up or down, it's like, who cares? Yeah, so okay, good. It's good for you. It's good if you hold it. It's not an S&P 500 component. It's not a systemic kind of company. This, however, is a systemic company, right? UPS, this is people buying and selling stuff and shipping it all over the country. So if they're making more money than Wall Street and analysts and all these guys expected, then that just showing that the economy is looking good, looking strong. You generally don't see UPS going up or you're going down under like weak economic conditions, right? So obviously not the best stock overall, but the fact that they are shipping more around the nation is interesting, right? DHI, a little bit of a gap down here. This one doesn't seem as interesting to me, right? It's a home building stock. A lot of home builders have been a little bit under pressure recently. ITB, not ITA. So home builders are gapping down just a little bit here. These are going to be a little bit more interest rate sensitive than they are earning sensitive. Right? If tomorrow JPOW drops rates, then they're going to go up. And if he doesn't drop rates, they're probably going to go down. And that's more or less how it works from this particular side of things. But, you know, you could trade some sympathy names. And there's Nail if you want to actually trade the home builders. This is a 3x leveraged home builder company or home builder ETF. So because home builders aren't the most interesting thing in the world, if you want a little juice behind them, you can take a Nail, and that will give you a little bit of juice behind that name. UNH, and again, full disclosure, I'll tell you right off the bat, so I don't have to tell you all day. I still own UNH. Talked about this trade kind of live in the 250s, but this is another one of those companies that I think is more systemic, right? If you look at UPS, it's going to tell you whether shipping things around the country is happening. Are people buying things and moving them from one place to another? And UNH is obviously going to be the biggest component of the Dow. And I think it's the biggest. It's one of the biggest. I don't know if it still is the biggest after it got cut of the Dow. And then also it's going to have a big impact on just healthcare as a whole. And healthcare has been one of the sectors that have been really lagging here. right? So we do XLF, right? XLF has been down. It's down a little bit in the pre-market here, but hitting new highs, and was hitting new highs a long time ago. And then if you do XLK, which is technology, obviously has been doing what we expect for technology to do, which is just rocketing higher. But if we take a look at XLV, this one's been a little bit of a lagger, but starting to kind of catch up here, and that's going to be juiced up by UNH. So this is something that's going to be really interesting. And then there's a UNHX, UNHC. Hold on. United Health. There is a leveraged. Hold on. Let me just look here. UNH leveraged ETF. There is a UNH leveraged. UNHG. Is it UNHG? Let's check out the liquidity of this guy. Because I know some people don't like to trade $300 stocks. Again, for me, it doesn't matter, right? You're paid in percentage gains, not in dollars. But if you don't want to trade UNH, you can trade UNHG. And this is an interesting one because, right, it's only $25. This looks fairly liquid. You know, if you look at the candles, I always just look to see how many gaps are in the candles, a quick way for reference. And today with UNH in play, this is going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to watch this for that kind of VWAP fade move, right? See if we break down VWAP here and then maybe get to this one. If not, maybe we get a nice little push, but a big move here in UNH. And you could take a look at what your other healthcare names. I know Mitch always talks about this ELV. That's going to move with it. I know Steve likes Oscar, even though this one's been a bit of a dog, but that's going to move because it's a sector play, right? All of these sector plays are going to move together. So, right, you can just grab a look at that. What major reported this morning? And then we've got some other ones. So if we go, I'm just trying to find the earnings hub, earnings calendar. Because this is, you have these seasons where things move and they move dramatically. So for me, these are the ones you want to watch. And we're not getting like the craziest ones out there, but well, we take a look at RCL, see if that one has moved. Yes, that's down pretty good. So there's Royal Caribbean. That might be an interesting one because this is the time where I play these VWAP fades. And what I'm testing is because you guys know that I was doing a lot of these VWAP fades and they were working amazingly. Then all of a sudden they stopped working well. So I just kind of backed off them. However, now that I think about it, it is likely just because they're work better when people care. And people care on earnings. So what I'm doing is UNHG. I'm going to load that one up. Do a 2 minute. And look to take some of these plays just off of kind of what we're seeing here. So UNHG, Royal Caribbean. So, for people who are new here, this play is a pretty simple one. And I've got an indicator out here that we can take a look at. Oh, that's another one I'm working on. It's this one. The idea is pretty simple. You look at the VWAP for today, and you're looking for something now that I looked at. I went through all the data behind these, and it seems like a large earnings report or a big news number is important. And you're looking for them to remain under or over VWAP for the majority of the pre-market. You don't want something that crosses below and fades back and forth. And then you're looking to take a trade from the other side. And we had Kenny Glick on the show a while ago, and he kind of walked us through this as well, because this is kind of his bread and butter trade. This is how he has made a living trading for many, many years. Dude started trading in the 90s, and he's been doing this kind of thing for like 10, 20 years now, where that's all you're looking for. Is if we get a close over VWAP, you're taking a little shot there. You want to end up maybe scaling out of that pretty quickly. So there's RCL, again, UNH. I will probably trade the UNHG, which is the leverage product, but this one's up and it's been, I'd say, majority of the morning here up. So if this can fade back down, maybe we can get a little push down there. And remember, we got UNHG as our 2x leverage. UNH, we could play against that one. Just looking here, what else do we got on the go? UPS was the other one we wanted to take a look at. Both of the U's, UPS, UNH, both these things gapping up. This one doesn't really fit the criteria as much because it's been really holding under VWAP for the entire day. And what you're looking for is you're basically just fading the quote unquote obvious trade, the trade that people are taught all the time, which is just you're looking to buy when the stock pulls back to VWAP. That's like day trading 101. And if everybody is taught that, then quite often the other side of that could potentially work, where if you're looking to get a quick push down through VWAP, with this being your ultimate target. But in my experience with these things, quite often best just to take a little shot a little quicker, right? Take some off the table if and when you can get that. Let's see what else popping up here for earnings. I think that's about it that we care about. RCL, again, that's an interesting one. So we got RCL there. NNE is kind of your typical. This one's been a hot nuclear play, but just not much reaction here. I don't know if they've not reported yet or if this is just kind of like PayPal. There we go. You're right. PayPal wasn't in earnings, but we had PayPal news here with OpenAI. This one looks like it already triggered here in the pre-market. So that would have been the play, is right, short right there and already out. But I'll keep that one as well. And then SOFI. Yeah. This SOFI daily chart looks phenomenal here. Just a nice bull flag against. So we get to prior all-time highs. We just digest there for a long time, which is what we want to do. And then we're breaking out here on earnings. So the daily chart on SoFi looks great. I don't know if I'd fade this one because the gap up isn't that much that I'd be looking for a fade on this one. If anything, maybe this is the other side. But morning, Zach. Morning, Josh. See you there. Yeah, so a lot in the earnings front, which probably means we're going to be a little bit less interesting in the micro cap crazy scalper dudes. Generally speaking, that's what happens. If you have a really crazy day for large caps, then you've got smaller days for everything else. My bot, I know, is looking at Oracle. Not Oracle. Oh, well, something's going on there at Oracle. Oh, yeah, the CEO's out there yapping, I think, with Trump. But QCOM, I know I'm looking to see if I can get a little bit of a pullback. I think in the 178 area it's looking for QCOM. Just because huge move yesterday. Again, I remember we were chatting about this. Our boy Walter Bloomberg gave us this one in the 76s, just saying, hey, we are now getting into the AI data center game along with everyone else. And now it's just been fading ever since then. And to me, if the fade is nice and orderly, we could potentially move and turn around. So what up?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, man?
Happy new all-time highs again.
Yeah, new all-time highs again, and the party keeps on going, baby. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of earnings reports out there, and stocks to trade. And when I come from Trader TV, I got almost too many stocks to talk about. So I don't know where to start. I'll give you themes and ideas, and Michael, you drive the boat.
Well, we've been through the big earnings, so if you've got any of the little guys.
Perfect. I'm sure you talked a little bit. Did you get to SoFi a little bit?
Yeah, we talked SoFi, PayPal, UNH.
Awesome. Those are covered. Awesome.
UPS,
so let's go.
RCL.
Of course, Microsoft continuing the strength. That's one trade that I'll just be watching today, right? Going into the report, I think that's one trade that you can maybe ride, just a day trade. I mean, I know it gapped up, but it didn't do much yesterday. And I think today could be more of that. Instead of going into the gap, push away. Just keep pushing.
Remember, we have the MSFU for the people who want like the cheaper and a little bit more juice. You got that guy.
And of course, ARM, you guys know I've been talking about that one. I think that can keep going as big tech names to watch for continued lift. Qualcomm, of course, will be an interesting move after yesterday. Can it get down to the 180 is kind of more my level for the entry. But yeah, if it could just do an opening dump, like get to 180, I'm willing to take it. Right? Like I think this is something that you got to wait for, let it pull back a majority of the move, right? If you get back there, the move was pretty much 20% move, right? We're already back towards like only 8% of that push from that bottom, right? And if you get back to the 180s, it's only 6%. So now you've given back 14 of the 20% on the move. I think that's where you could start to maybe look in to maybe take a shot, right?
Yeah, and I was mentioning my bot's looking for pretty much the exact same thing, right? As a pullback,
Perfect.
just using our boy
Yeah.
Steve's, right? You grab like the 50% tool, and you're right. You're a little under there now, but I think it's like 38% or 31.8
Mhm.
or whatever that fib is. That's puts you around 178, 180. So
Yeah, it won't be a bad one to look at. I think it's definitely one to watch for the move. We'll see if we get into that spot there. And just an opening dump would be the look, right? A nice panic open would be a good thing, not a bad
well,
thing,
what
right?
would be
So,
interesting here is this, right? Pre-market indicator that we're building, right? Where it's a nice kind of that gap and rip, or the crap and rip kind of pre-market type of thing that we're playing with. So that might be an interesting one to put on this one and see what that trigger would be versus the manual trigger. But yeah, so we've got that all set up. So we're looking for a little bit of push down if we get that, and then I think back through. Because look how VWAP's just been a shelf for this one the entire
Whew.
morning.
Yeah.
So maybe just that'd be a way to simplify the trade. Say, okay,
Mhm.
get back through VWAP.
Get
So
back.
maybe we do a little dump off the open. That would bring VWAP down as well.
Yeah, you
And then
don't need to
turn
jump
around
out of your
off through.
skis, right? It's a big move that it could go back to, right? So,
Oh yeah.
just kind of wait and wait. Be the patient trader is the one that nails Qualcomm now, right? It's not the eager trader. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a celebration, guys. I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
time to, celebrate up a little bit. I am gonna be waiting for the account, but it's time to celebrate a new funded account, man, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes continuing to push forward, and this is an interesting one. I'll kind of show you guys a little bit into the account here. How kind of it went up and down, right? It's never just a straight way, right? And this is one thing that I think is important because sometimes, we do talk about this often, and think this is one that was an interesting one here. Let me share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share it up here, and then also got to fix the banner, but I'll do that on my own. You see, we could work fast here. Let's go. Boom. All right, there you guys see it, guys. This is the account, of course. Just reached the profit target, the 3,000. This is the 50K one, right? Was looking, it was starting off really well, right? And then it kind of got all the way up to like 1,800. It seemed like the 2,000 mark was like kind of the resistance that I couldn't break, and then I went into a little bit of a rut, but then the market started to get hot, right? Like this I've been trading this one since September 10, and this is why I like the flex accounts, right? Not the max, where if this was the max, it would have gave up already just from the time limit, right? But I just stayed.
100%. Just could not agree more. I really encourage people to spend the extra couple bucks. It's not that big of a difference.
Mhm.
And even if you end up passing in a month, I
Mhm.
find the kind of mental benefit of I don't need to push it. If my system goes through a natural
Exactly.
drawdown, I just ride it out. I think
Yeah,
it's
just try to slow it
way
down,
better.
right? You could see here I had a couple of days where it's like bomb, 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 but then I just went sideways for a little bit. That's what you
Mhm.
kind of got to do. You got to just go sideways, just slow down the bleeding. Then I came into a hot hand, right? You go in, this is how it's going to happen, guys. It's not about the straight wins, but sometimes it's going to happen where you get like, 5 or 6 straight losses. Then you get 5 or 6 straight wins in a row, right? And that's exactly what happened. And then that turned me right back to where I was. And then it was just kind of pushing and pushing. And since October 7th, I've been really close, just kind of chomping around, chomping around, chomping around. Yesterday, I had that Cleveland Cliff position, right? I was doing well. I had already nailed it, and I just stopped watching it for like an hour or two. I came back, and it was right where I originally bought it. It was just sitting there on the 15 minute and just kind of going sideways. And I saw the kind of the trend line approach that we talk about all the time, trade more of that trend line approach. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to size in and go for it here. I first originally got 1,000 shares, and then it was like kind of going up to 1350s. And I was like, okay, we'll pull back 2 or 3 cents here, and then I'm going to go really tight on the risk. And I even had the stop out there for all my tinfoil hatness. But there you go. I just said, you know what? Let's see if it just wants to do this move back to 1380s. And boom, set it, forget it, took the boys to the park, came back, and boom, there you go. A win, right? Got the last little win to jump into the spot. Risk and return on this account was 1.29, right around where I want to be. You guys know I talk about always like kind of 3 to 1 at minimum, because I think that just keeps this in play, right? Where success rate doesn't just need to be high. It doesn't need to be overwhelming, right? I don't need to be feeling like I always have to win. And I think that feeling for me and my personality and the way that I trade, I think that's the best way. Where it's where I know I'm gonna lose a lot, but I'm just gonna lose small and just keep playing, run into the big winners. Let that drive the equity curve and just make sure that you're trying to limit losses, right? So you can see here, sometimes it's going to be outsized. And yes, there was an outsized one here at 648, right? And best profit, 980, right? They're going to be outsized ones. But the average profit and the average loss, $94 on the downside. Average profit, almost 300, 272. So kind of where I want to be, right? 3 to 1. So I've been more and more in thinking about this more, right? I'm trying to get to a point where I can make $400 a day consistently, but I notice more and more I have that resistance around the 300 on average, where I have a lot of days. Like yesterday, I was up about 300 early on, and I could have just ended the day there, right? So those are the types of things that I think you can learn from your advanced statistics. Of course, use some hubs, use our partners if you're not using them already to kind of get a little bit further into your data. But of course, these are fun statistics that you get right on our hub, right? So at this point, I'm ready to keep playing, guys. So what I did right now, since I'm waiting for the other account, is I just got a really small one. And this small one, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to trade some small boys and have fun. So my idea with this one is to trade stocks that are probably under 15 bucks, but still looking for trend type of trades. So an area that I'm looking at, then just to kind of add, and I saw the chat, this will add to the chat, I know the chat's talking about it, is robotics. So let's talk robotics, right? We could start at the top with Tesla, right? Tesla's the leader. I think this is the one you watch for the continued breakout. I think Tesla's on a breakout, and it's not because of the vehicles. It's for the robotics focus moving forward into the next year. So this could be a nice breakout back through the all-time highs, which is around, I think it's, what is it, 484, if I'm to be correct here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 48? Okay, perfect. Not too far. So I'm looking for a move to 500 with Tesla. But let's go to some smaller plays, the plays that I'll be looking at to play in this. I like a name like RR here, Rich Tech Robotics. You have a nice little kind of flag pattern on the daily. You just broke towards the trend line yesterday. You peaked right above it. And now I'm looking for this to ride right back through 6 and get right back through the yesterday's high of 642. This could be a great play to play on this account. Serve, another one that I'll be watching towards the bell here, which is about 6 minutes away. I got to keep an eye on that. But Serve, I think this is a good one to watch for 15 recovery. If you actually look at the kind of the weekly, or you look at a monthly chart on Serve, you can see more accumulation of a flag pattern trying to break out above 16 and get back above 20. So if we're going to have this big robotics move, I think Serve is definitely one to watch here. And I would love to see it get above 15 with a strong move today. So this is going to be one that I'll definitely keep on the radar. And there's other names, right? There's, if you just want quality, ISRG, of course, just recently reported and holding the gap really well. I think this is one that you could put in. This is more like a portfolio type of stock, but if you look at the monthly chart monthly flag pattern, really pretty. I think this gets to 600 in a hurry. I think this could get to 4 digits. I think this could be $1,000 stock by sometime next year. So, it's how I like to bring up different levels of quality, right? This is your higher quality name, and there's always going to be speculative names that have less fundamentals to back them up. But I can tell you guys, I've heard so many hospitals talk about this technology as such like a, let's say, competitive advantage why you want to come to our hospital. That's all I needed to hear to know that this story is probably not stopping anytime soon, right? Robotics and surgery, it just makes sense. If they could be 99.5% accurate versus a human that could be 95% accurate on that surgery, which one would you choose? I'm going to go to the robot that's 99.5, right? I mean, it's just the moving forward, guys. So,
Well, yeah, everything's going to be a robot, right? We're seeing the humanoid. As soon as they started to come out and talk about the humanoid robots, that's the thing that really takes everything off, because
XPEV has one of those, man. They have the Iron. It's not Optimus Prime, as I like to call it from Tesla. But hey, XPEV here looks interesting. China deal going through, right? Like everything can look better now for XPEV. And they really look good on the weekly here too. I like the weekly approach for this company, and you look at the weekly chart, it really cleans things up. And this could start to break above 23, get to 25, and start to make a nice move. So all names in the kind of robotic space that we could look at. Also, really quickly before the open, I want to take a look at NNE and bring you guys this one. Lovely chart that actually pulled back on the weekly, holding prior kind of resistance on this chart, and now starting to hold here. I think if this could get back above yesterday's high, 46.46, start pushing to 50, it could have a nice breakout. So NNE, and I'm looking for nuclear stocks to get hot again. Something tells me, and you guys know how I always get these feelings, so it's just a feeling, but something tells me that the next kind of government investment might be coming in the small nuclear reactor space. Clip it, right? You know how I am sometimes, guys. I just get these feelings, and when I start to feel this, I start to position. That's all I need to do, right? I just need to position here and be smart. If I can get positioned in, maybe we can see a big move here. GEV, if you want quality, of course, in nuclear space, if you look at the monthly chart, it looks like it's just pulled back. It looks a lot worse on the daily chart, but the weekly could recover 600 here, and you just got a recent scare to 532. Well, that only washed out weak hands, and now if you recover 600, the big boys could get in this. Maybe GEV keeps going right back up to 700 or something like that. I think this could be an easy washout and recovery.
Yeah, and if you look at, right, NLR is a good one to look at just as nuclear as a whole, because this is nuclear and uranium. It's got the big guys, the small guys, a little bit of everything. And yeah, just a nice little pullback, an orderly, bull market pullback. So it's great that you're not, chasing highs or anything like that, but it's a great look.
You have support, right? Everyone can see it clear as day. So I think when you have those types of looks, it's better to play, I think, a chart like that right now than to be catching the high flyer in this environment. At least I would say so. Like you have a small pullback and the stock's still holding, right? Small pullbacks, stocks holding. That's what you want to be seeing on charts. Like we say, like a Bloom Energy, that stock hasn't really gotten weak. It's a small pullback, holding. That's what you want to be seeing on charts right now. Small pullbacks that are holding.
It just shows that sellers aren't aggressive, right?
Yeah, they can't take control.
Yeah, they're not chasing the stock down. They're not just pounding it every time it goes down. They're not able to get really that aggressive at all. Just a quick look at the market just as we're opening here. Nice little spike into the open. We're at new all-time highs, so it's really hard to make kind of upward targets. So I'm really just going to watch this area right here, which is the post-market high, and then a bit of the pre-market high. But yeah, it's like, what do you do? Everything's just ripping.
Yeah, let's get
Buy
after
stuff
it,
and hold
guys.
it.
Let's see what we can do. All right. I still got RX. I was up about at the max yesterday, 400. I'm looking for more, man. I need this to get back through 650s yesterday. Watching for it to hold 6 today out the gates and really get going. RX was up. I'm still up a pretty good amount. I'm still up like 5 or 6%, but I'm looking for a little more. Let's keep riding.
Yeah, just gonna watch right off the bat with the SPY. So far, just a little bit of a pullback here, trying to catch up. VWAP sitting right below us at 680, 650. Just seeing what's happened there. Well, some of the names, of course, I'm watching is right UNH, and with that the XLV. Right, just to see, we had a big gap here on UNH. Remember, if you want to trade UNHG, that could be a good one to trade. But so far, it's just spiking down. A little bit of profit taking coming off the open. So I wonder if this one might be a good candidate for, because I missed kind of the VWAP fade, if this is going to be a good candidate for that gap down and break pre-market, or at least the beginning of this pre-market range, and then get back through VWAP. I think that's what I'm going to be watching here on UNH to take UNHG, which is the double leverage, and it's only, I think, like what, $25. Yeah, as opposed to this other one. So just watching here, just see if this is just a little bit of a fake out. I know people were just kind of happy with the numbers, and I know there's a lot of people that are underinvested on this particular name. So this is step one of what this setup needs, is a breakdown, like a morning flush. And then step two is a quick close, kind of back through VWAP. I think this will be a first half hour trade will kind of be the setup here.
All right, guys, get after it, guys. If you guys see anything stand out, throw it up. We'll be looking.
Continuing to sell here. So this one might be just missed it and move on, potentially. Nothing so far from the day trading bot, which makes sense because if you look at the SPY, we're kind of right just at yesterday's high. So there's been no real movement happen here.
RR moving already. I'm looking for that one here.
Yeah, UNH really selling. So yeah, I would need a huge pop here. First trade coming through is an SUPV, which is a ADR. Looking for a little buy there as it pulls into yesterday's range. So far, that one just bounced and is already popping there. So it's so far so good.
All right, like an RR here, off of 6. Saw some buyers step up right out the gates here. Looking to see if we can get to like 596, 592, and then I can take a shot here. There we go, 595. I'll take a little bit there. Looking to add a little bit here at 590. Got 200 shares right now of Rich Tech. $25,000 account. Of course, this is one of the names that I'm just watching, so I'm like, I see it work right out the gates, holding support 585. Let's see it right back above 6. That's kind of the IMO. QMCO on the pullback. All right, 595 showing right back up. I'm going to step up here at 6. If it gets to 6, I'll go ahead and I'll step up. 597. Let's go. See what we can do here.
SPY hasn't really been able to do much of anything here. It's come down to VWAP and just holding VWAP fairly strong, just bouncing off VWAP kind of again and again here. So we got to keep a close eye there. Are we going to flush lower? Then maybe, break pre-markets low. Maybe have a red day. Could you imagine a red day in the markets?
Never.
Ooh, all of the bears will come back out and say, oh, that felt like a top that time.
All right,
Someday
guys.
they'll be right.
Long
Someday.
here. RR I just added there, broke the 6 right back, so I added. Now I'm 598, 400 shares. Looking for this to work. Not going to go too crazy with size. Of course, this is a small account. Don't need to go crazy. Even the $100 win on this account is a really nice start. So there we go. Nice push to 610s. Looking good here for RR, Rich Tech. Let's go. Let's have a good day, guys. All right, holding well here at this point. Really just want to kind of hold break even. Just looking for the breakout above 610s to go to like 620, 630, and we can sell. Let's see if it holds 6 on any pullback here. There we go. Good buying there. 604, 15,000 shares. That's what you kind of want to see there. So small pullback brought in a big share size. Now another 10,000 shares at 607. There we go. This is why you bring all money, Mitch. Let's go. 614, 616s, almost 620s here. I'm looking for 625s and then I'll sell out. But we are looking good here, guys. Now up about $70 on this trade in the small account. Small account challenge today, baby.
Wow, UNH went and closed that gap entirely.
All right, orders out at 625. Target profit. Definitely going to make at least $50 on this. Just watching the action right now. Looking to try to make $100 here. It's pulling back a little bit off that 620. I need a little buyer there through that 620s, and then I got 625s ready to go to get out here. $610's my out on the downside. I'll take a small winner if I need to. The whole idea, green on the screen, especially with a new account.
UNHG, just watching here. It's come down to the 2-day VWAP and just looking to see if this holds and potentially a little bounce from there. Just a complete kind of fall apart off the open. Just feels like it could be a little bit of a potential buy to have here. And again, not looking for anything crazy, just seeing if we bounce back up. You know, the market was saying that being up 5% was too much, but maybe being flat on the day is too little, and it ends up being up like 2-3%. Looking at tax, talking about PayPal, that was another one that got some good news. And this is an interesting chart from potentially this setup here, where if it gets back through VWAP, you'll see a little green arrow appear there as dipped off the open, undercut the pre-market low, and then now is looking to break back through that pre-market high. It's looking to, again, paper trade and to trade small some of these particular setups, because we're looking to actually, have an account to trade this particular setup and have it completely automated. So doing a lot of watching of these names to see if they're something that you can start to see patterns on and start to optimize which ones work best and which ones don't.
All right, good push here, right back above the 610s here, back towards 614s. Looking for the breakout here in Rich Tech. Rich Tech, baby. Richie Rich. Ooh, 40, almost like 50, 60,000 shares going through there at 616, 615s. That makes me hands off here, looking for the break. Let's see if we can get a nice breakout here. Good volume size. That's what you want to see sometimes, guys. Right there on the tape, you saw about like almost, if I add that up, that's like 100,000 shares in Rich Tech. Let's see if we can get the break above 620s here. That's what I'm looking for, is just a break into the 620s, 630s, and then I can just sell out for a really nice win on this brand new account.
Good way to start it. Get a little bit of a cushion there, a buffer to play with.
Yeah. Especially new accounts, man. You gotta, especially green on the screen. Like at this point, definitely, no matter what, I wouldn't let it go red. I'm just trying to see that little breakout here because there's size in there. There's size, at least take it. Now it's just the question is, did we run into a big seller? I think that's a big buyer willing to step up above 6.
So the SPY here has pulled back from the open. So we have these highs that we had in the post market, and then this opening range before we kind of really sent it here. So that is what I'm paying attention to, is if we pull back now that we're at that zone, is this where we find support, or are we actually going to go red on the day, which is just surprising that we can actually go red.
Serve went up to the 1470s, right back down. Looking for that to catch a little bit of some buy action. See if it can go right back to 1450. But that is doing a little bit of a more of a wash, opening wash. Talked about the yesterday's high being really important. It got really close, didn't break it. Just trying to be patient. Sometimes you got to be patient if you want your reward.
Well, and you have a big headwind, right, with the market down the first 10 minutes or so of the day. So we need, it will certainly help things if the market can chill out, calm down just a little bit. That would help any longs you've got on the board.
Yep. It's so funny on my profile. I don't even have access to the 1 or the 5 anymore. So sometimes I even find myself like on like a name like this where I just am such a degenerate. I'm like, where's the 1?
Well, that could be a sign, right? That could
It
be
is.
a
It
trigger.
is. It is. It's a sign. It's a sign that you want to run to the cash.
hmm If you're looking to really micro scalp in there, you might just want to take it and say, okay, well, maybe that's my subconscious trying to tell me something here.
It is. You can listen to that, right? If you're open to the information, like they say. SMR trying to break 40. That's on the radar today, of course, with NNE. I don't know how NNE is starting off the day, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on those names. Of course, the SPY kind of struggling. That's not helping things.
Yeah.
XLI down. A bunch of things kind of down out the gates here. How's the Qs? Qs are holding up a little bit better.
hmm
So,
Well, I think a lot of this is the
oh, look
UNH,
at.
right? Like,
Did you see the move on Microsoft right before the open? I didn't see
oh yeah,
that one.
yeah. They own more OpenAI than they bought more
Dude,
OpenAI. I guess.
this is literally what I was talking about on Trader TV. I was like, today's not the day to run away from Microsoft. It's the day to be in it.
hmm
Oh, baby. You can't make this stuff up, man. That was a nice one. Nice call there. I've been wanting to be in Microsoft since Friday. I just hate taking multiple swings, especially in a smaller account, because one bad headline and then you could kind of wipe it out, especially wipe out both trades. But yeah, Microsoft looks great now. Now we're almost back to that candle. I just said we wanted to get back to that 555. I mean, we hit it. We hit 557. Boom. There it is.
Really, all about the SPY here and whether or not the SPY can dig in. And for that, UNH, right, which is just opened up after a 3 or 4% up move and just boom, just bleeding all day. So that's what we really need to see kind of dig in to hold this market back up. Is again, talked about this before you got here, Mitch, just how systemically important UNH is and UPS and a lot of these things that reported. They're not the AI favorite super sexy ones, but they are important overall just because you have to have them, right?
Yep.
You can't have a healthcare. You got to have healthcare. You got to have people shipping things over the country, a lot of that stuff. So that's what you need to have going in order to help. But my only trade again so far is SUPV, and it's working great. Right, bought a little bit here at about the 980s off the open. So far, it's up to 1017. So a nice little push there. That's the only day trade that's come through. HCA, I'm trying to get a fill on down here, but wasn't able to do that. Another healthcare name. Seeing more and more healthcare names kind of come through the bot, just showing that that's a little bit of an in play sector right now, a sector you want to watch. It's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be more of an overnight move. They're going to figure out this ACA thing, and it's just going to rip. And that'll be the end of her.
All right. Still hanging out. Not trying to overtrade, of course, and just keeping an eye on the names that I want to watch. One name I'm watching, of course, A and F. I'm watching into these retailer names. AEO is one that I was watching for undercut and rally. That's actually not looking too bad above 17s. If that could get going today.
The system bought back into AN for my second trade here. Auto Nation.
There you
Picked
go.
up some of this yesterday. It was like a flat trade by the end of the day. I was just trying to buy some more. It's essentially just the setup is just looking at the daily chart and just looking for overextensions and just saying let's take the other side of names that are really overextended for day trades. Right? These aren't swings. These are just a little too much. Let's take a shot, see if it closes higher than this point today, and then just deal with it from there. Not a whole lot of liquidity in this name, really widespread, so be careful. That's why I use limit orders on all these things.
I'm liking AEO today. The Sydney Sweeney jeans, they got me.
Now that's one you need a leverage one would really help you out with, because that's a
Just got to go heavy.
slow burner.
Just got to go heavy. You don't got to worry about 50 cents too much droppage on AEO.
No,
So
it's just not a huge mover. So
yeah,
stop giving me leverage names for the ones that are crazy. Start giving me leverage for the ones that are like that and just kind of boring.
Yeah, nice undercut of the 674s. I'm just looking to see if it wants to do the 17 recovery, right? Undercut, rally. Undercut, rally. That's what I'm watching for, undercuts and rallies. The VIX is moving up a little bit if you're seeing the SPY move down a little bit. SOFI coming back. That's perfect.
Yeah, SPY is leaking there just a
Yep.
bit into the pre and post market range.
Every sector in the red except basic materials. So if you're looking for names that are in the green, basic materials not doing too bad. Silver bounce back day, gold a little bounce back. Steel, baby. Cleveland Cliff, what's up? Oh, come on, Mitch. You missed that move. You just yell at me, guys. What the hell? I can't believe I missed Cleveland Cliff today, guys. That was a beautiful breakout there. I need to move back to 14, but man, it would have been an easy buy for me at 1390s today. I sold it yesterday at 1380s, just to put it in perspective. I thought it was easy move through 14 today. Remember, this is a daily chart that has a really nice approach back to the earnings. So it doesn't need to stop here. It can go 15, 16. So I might still take a shot on this, guys. I'm just looking for pullback. Just need a pullback, 9 EMA pullback, 9 EMA pullback. We'll look for it, see if I can get it. And it just recently made a couple of them at 14, so it could expand from here, but I'm going to look for a quick little 1405 entry or something like that. We'll see if we get some pullback, man. Cleveland Cliff, hot. Steel, hot. STLD, nice bull flag. Watching that one. It's starting to break above 160. That might be a name that I try to scalp here.
The SPY here still bleeding. Let's take a look at what Nvidia pulling back a bit. Apple not really moving too much. Microsoft holding on really, really well here. This is a nice looking chart. If the SPY just stops for a second, that might be all Microsoft needs in order to start to kind of pop up and maybe reclaim that VWAP. Now, it's important, right? Context. I always like to do context here. Yes, we've been down from the open. We're still up on the day. So we went, I think, negative for just a second there. So that would be an official gap fill that just happened. And then buyers came in really strong after that gap fill. So we'll see what happens. But we're up a lot. We had that, scare out. And then once everyone said, oh, the world's coming to an end, we just had a 5% rip in the markets, nonstop up, relentless buying. So if we're going to chill out for a couple days, that's fine. Also, a whole lot of earnings tonight. So we got to keep an eye on that, right? Let's go here and just take a quick look. Sorry, not tonight. It's tomorrow night. End phase, some energy type names, Visa. So some financials going on. Coinbase, yeah. Oh, thanks for the shout out. PayPal looks like it's getting someone saying back through VWAP. Yep. So you can see that's the green trigger right there. I'm gonna go take like 10 shares in my account here just to watch. Just to see, because this is an interesting setup, right? So this is the setup we've been talking about and trying to build the idea behind. And we're just looking for these particular names to have little undercut. So at undercut, you can see the obvious pre-market support is looking at. Undercut that and it gets back through. And then we're just using VWAP as a trigger, right? You could pick anything. You could pick a standard moving average or something like that. But the idea is a close above VWAP's your trigger, your initial stops at the low of the day. And then you can just kind of play. I'd probably put it like, I don't know, 75, 50 or something like that. Tighten that up a little bit. But that's the overall premise for when we automate it is get the undercut, you get the rip back through VWAP, the system buys it, it puts a stop at the low of the day, and then you're just sitting, you're managing those positions. You're saying, okay, what's going on here? Are these going to work? We're starting to get that UNH bounce. I wonder if that might lead to a bit of a market bounce after that. So put in a little bottoming hammer right here. Now we'll see if these lows, the buying that's taken place at pretty much the gap fill, like the break even point of the gap fill, does that end up reversing our kind of fortunes here that we've been under?
Cleveland Cliff just keeps on going, guys. I might have to step up here if I want it. Doesn't look like it's going to give me that 1410. I'm trying to be patient. Took a little bit of serve also there. I'm just trying to play these robotics names right now.
All right, so I've taken a little bit of this PayPal just to test, right? We're trying to test these ideas out with just a few bucks. So I've taken 50 shares. I've decided to put my initial stop would have gone down here, and then just raising that up, and then just seeing if we can get into the pre-market range. And good news, quick undercut of the pre-market. Now it looks like we're grinding back through. We have UNH now positive on the day. Damn, that's a clean reversal there so far. So that might help out the SPY here, catch a little bit of a bid. Because if we look XLF, that's holding okay. XLV, that's holding okay. XLK, that's the one. So it's tech that's pushing down, not the hyperscalers, the big guys, but some tech is definitely giving us as well, right? So what's the target for PayPal? Someone's asking. We don't know yet. That's, right? So we've got the trigger, we've got the stop loss. Part of the system, I think, is that Mitch is going to kind of manually take profits on them. I would say, right, obvious targets you'd look at is be like pre-market highs, and that would be an interesting place to kind of start. If it can get way back up there, that makes for a really good risk reward. I don't know. It might just, sometimes the best targets are just like percentage of risk. Right? So if you're risking $100, then you're looking to make $150, $200. But yeah, that's the hard part. It may also be something that's not chart related, which I like to use a lot of, like ATR, which just stands for the average true range of the stock. Things like that might be a good idea, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. And sometimes you don't have to, right? So if I build this indicator and it enters the trade for Mitch, puts out a stop loss, it sizes it all correctly, and maybe the subjective part is just the profit targets, where, right, Mitch is like looking at the markets and trying to figure out when to punch the button. But long story short, we haven't come up with one yet. So let's kind of do that as a group and figure that out. Because when we do this, I'll definitely share the code with the group if anyone else wants to do it. The magic, the secret sauce behind the indicator is going to be more of selecting the stocks that are going to do the best through it, right? It's going to be can't. This strategy just won't work if you do it on everything.
Yeah,
Right? If you
can't
just
be.
say it just won't. It's finding the stuff that is kind of in play that day that people might take that undercut and rally and start to aggressively buy. It's the stock selection is going to be the biggest component of success or failure here.
Definitely agree, man. All right, Rich Tech into the green. Not Rich Tech, serve in the green. I'm still in Rich Tech. I'm just watching it build on this 590s. Willing to add again at 6, but just trying to play. Keep playing, guys. I do like Nucor and UE. If you're looking for quality, I like a 150 undercut here. Would love to get in it. SMR starting to go here, guys.
Whoa. What's going on here? Ooh, something just happened. Let's just check the news there. Market's just ripped higher.
All right, let's go
You guys
for
saw
it.
that on screen. Let's see what our boy Walter's saying. Holy smokes. Everyone saw that happen live. That was someone filling a big buy order there.
Yeah, I'm taking some positions off of it, guys. I'm trying to ride the momentum. I'm putting gas power right now to work.
Didn't really help my PayPal that much. Trying to look here. I'm on the streets. Something. It could have just been a giant order getting filled, but we all saw that happen live here. There was a big.
There was something.
That's a big candle just to come completely out of the blue there.
Yeah, there's
If anyone
something.
else sees it, then put it in chat if you've got
I
any
am
theories.
long on SMR. I did take some positions off of that, just to let you guys know. I even took Cleveland Cliff. It's already in the green. Just trying to scalp Cleveland Cliff here. If I could scalp it, I'll scalp it.
Is Walter sleeping?
Walter!
Come on, Walter. Wake up.
Let's find it. It has to be
Apple
Trump.
has just become the third company ever to hit
Trump signs a rare earth agreement with Japan. That was an hour ago.
We're right back down too. So
Something from Japan probably might have gotten there.
It was fun while it lasted, boys. We're right back down to it. Could have just been like the speed at which we saw it. It was right here on the screen. The speed of which that happened was definitely looked like an algorithm read something and just punched an order. And then we selling ever since then, and nothing that I can see from any of the news guys that I trust here.
Yeah, and everything just pulling back fast there. We'll see if we get the rebuy here, but
so the question is now if we want to. I should have a tinfoil hat just sitting on my desk. If we want to put it on right now, then in like 10 minutes from now, some really good news is going to come out. And that was somebody.
Love it.
Someone that knew something.
Pull it on. Put it on, my friend.
Let's grab that. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna take like a trade the pool hat that I can't wear because it's blue. And I'm just gonna put tinfoil on top of it and we'll call it because that was weird. That was not normal everyday price action. It was certainly not.
Nice takeoff here in SMR at least. Let's see if we can get up there. Make a little bit on SMR today.
So what I've done just for my PayPal trade, just to, again, while we're figuring out targets, is I have sold a little bit of it here just as we had a little pop, and I've just moved my stop up right below these candles right here, so it will be already gotten to that kind of break even type position, right? Have you seen those hats that don't get your face get scanned? Is that the ones that like shoot like lasers down on your face? I've seen those too.
Lasers.
They've got like a little like light or laser or something in the brim, and it shoots it down on your face so people can't.
We're just out to take profit here in SMR already. See if I can nail this one, guys. I'm just trying to get it through 41 here.
Great little breakout on that.
All right, should take it. Boom, nice little cash there, guys. 147 on the account to start.
Well, geez, while you're waiting for that other account, you might as well just pass this one today, right?
That's the idea, man. Hit the gas pedal and just be careful, right? Make sure that we cut anything that gets dangerous and keep playing the game. That's trading, guys. So like let's say like Cleveland Cliff is just wanting to pull back a little bit here. This was a scalp. It's not moving. I'm gonna cut it here, guys. It's just not moving. 16 bucks. I'd rather take the really quick cut there than set myself up for just giving up that gain that I just got, right? So rather stick with RR here and serve, looking for them to hold their lows and come right back up and rip. So we'll see what happens on those. Those are 15-minute lows that I'm using, and we'll just hold on to that. At least that first trade right there, giving me a nice little cushion on the day. Even if I lose these both trades right now, I'm still in the green. Boom. That's what you got to do, especially on these accounts right now. Quick rip, sold it literally near the top there on SMR. Let's see if the market can come back and really keep going. Qs are still holding on really well to tell me that the SPY can come back, guys. So since the Qs are holding on, I think the SPY can just kind of trickle down. And at some point, I'm going to expect another big candle coming from the SPY. As long as the Qs can remain in that strength mentality.
So how quickly between that random spike and a good news is
Stop on rich text.
Do we say those two are related? It's got to be within a couple of minutes, right? Or it's just a fat finger.
We'll see what happens.
I'm just debating kind of buying some S&P 500 futures or something like that, just with a stop sitting there at the low of the day and happen. Oh man, geez, we got a buddy hanging out here. I didn't even know. I don't have the sound on, so I didn't even notice.
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Come on in whenever you.
Oh,
I broke him.
You broke him, man. You rug pulled him.
Yeah.
All
I think
right,
he's frozen there too.
yeah, he's a little
concentrating real hard. There he goes. We'll get our boy Kevin in here in a second.
I love that one always, or just concentrating really hard.
Yeah, it's one you never know because it always freezes from like looking at something. So it's like maybe he's just like
this is 2000
in a trade
deep, and the hangover is doing well, and he's ready to cash.
Focusing up. AMD ripping. Oh yeah, AMD. Whoo. You're right, Tack.
AMD, man.
That's
Talked
definitely
about don't fight it. The news yesterday.
Oh, that's probably something too there. Because yesterday they had that
Qualcomm almost at the 180 for us, my friend. Just to put it out there. Testing. Oh, he's tested and ready to go. Let's go. Let's bring him in. The one, the only.
I heard you guys say hangover.
On the screen.
What's
the hangover, man?
7 right now. If you pull up
I knew it. The hangover had my man.
QCMU, just FYI. There is a QCOM leveraged, double leveraged ETF. Because of course there is.
Of course
QCML.
Yeah, guys. Here I'm sprinkled in on 7 hangovers this morning, and they're all green right now. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Good for you, bud. Holy smokes!
Sprinkled in, baby. I love it.
Just sprinkling in on them, and this is the distribution of trades. So like yesterday, I made a mistake and tunneled in on one, and today I slapped myself to reality. I said, do what you teach, Kevin. Focus on distribution of trades, series over individual setups. And so that's what I did today. I got hard stops, Mitch, on everything.
Watch out then. I don't know about that.
I
don't know about all that.
But
7 positions, you worry about the green on the screen, right?
So I had
cut red, right? That's it.
I had 2 little red ones, took them off. REPL was one of those.
Because once you did that, how did your stress levels go when you took off those small little red ones?
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, exactly.
Your stress level just goes down, way down fast, and you can focus on your green trades, which I think some traders just get so dead focused on their red trade that now they're not even focused on maximizing the green. Right.
Exactly. You've helped me with that, certainly. And
maximize
this
threes, cut those reds, get the
be
heck out,
rigid with the
throw that
rules,
in the
flexible with
trash.
the profit expectations. That's why
Mm-hmm.
personally, like it's for when you're focused on the distribution, this is why I have for me it's beneficial to set the stops. I want to
Ooh,
I want
SMR
to
break.
minimize those losers and the winners. I want to allow them to maximize. So some of these like hangovers, for example, a lot of these could even offering. And so when you sprinkle a little bit on each individual one of them, and in fact, I'm involved in one that offering CYBN is one that offered out like 22 million shares at 650. So I, stabbed at this one and just letting her.
That's probably
Yeah.
why my mind met's down today. So good.
Are you CYBN?
No, well, it's
You're
just
selling?
the same sector, same psychedelic
I
kind of
see.
thing.
Yeah.
So
So that's what's important, guys. Yesterday, again, yesterday I made the mistake of focusing in on CODX, and CODX right now I'm involved with this at 92 cents. It's at 57. But yesterday I
damn.
involved myself, Mitch, front side,
Yep.
and made the mistake of like overstaying. I have a rule like take no more than 2 losses per ticker and move along, and I did not stick to that rule, and it
Ooh,
hurt yesterday.
were you looking for a short on that bad boy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't listen to Money Mitch, man, in the morning, dude. I warned about that bad boy.
Yeah.
I
So
warned. I warned,
you
bro.
this
You should have
theme.
known better than to play a
I should
60
have been
cent
tuned
name,
in.
man. It's a penny name. That's the thing. The thing is this one had actually like look at the daily chart, man. Look how it keeps doing this. And so when it's repeated pattern like that, you be careful on day 1, but look at the pattern.
Yeah.
It's every time it comes down on day 2.
Yeah.
So day 2 was the
Most
move, right?
important
Short
part.
the open today could have been your move on
Exactly. Day
CODX, right?
twos are so much more, they're
History, right? Look at the chart.
yeah,
You knew that, Kevin. If you looked at it yesterday,
I
I'm
knew
sure you
that.
looked at it and you saw pops and
Yeah.
drops that
Yeah.
they get exciting, but make sure that it doesn't go green and it's just a wick. Because green and a wick it means it lost its strength, but the shorters didn't take over, right? The shorters took over today on that
Right.
CODX, right?
You're
So
absolutely right. I made the mistake yesterday, and we all have
it
human
happens.
behavior and makes mistakes. I was very
Especially on
frustrated with
60
myself.
cent names that you never trade, Kevin. I don't see you ever trading 60 cent
Well,
names.
yeah, over the dollar, I was sizing this against the $1.20, that, and
Yeah.
then so that's
The
where I
just
was
you were
at.
looking for the little dollar move right back
But
down, right?
but
So
you exactly. It pretty much what it's doing now, yesterday against the $1.20. But so often if I look at the stats, what you're saying is absolutely correct. Like avoid the big day one movers. Look,
yeah.
take a look at the past chart history. The problem wasn't that I tried it yesterday and it didn't work. The problem was I
Ooh.
kept trying. Like the problem is when you're wrong, you're staying wrong. That was my problem.
Yeah.
It's like it's okay to be wrong, guys. Like take
Ooh,
this
SMR.
if you mess up, that's all right. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna take losses. You're gonna take stops, but don't overstay. And when you're wrong, do not stay wrong. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate the analysis there.
It's
I'm okay, dude.
wow.
Guys, I'm okay with a red day. Red days don't bother me, and I know they happen. What really annoys me is when I break my rules. That's what annoys me to no end. And yesterday,
Good. And if you can get to the point where you're annoyed when you break a rule and make money, then you're really onto something. And that
Yeah.
takes a while, but I get sometimes like, I leave the
yeah,
office a little pissed and the wife's like, "Oh, bad day." I'm like, "No, I made $1,000."
Rule
But
broke.
I
Rule
did it.
broken. I did the
Yeah,
thing I'm
it's
not
like,
supposed to do.
right. And because it's important to just psychologically get mad at yourself because
Yeah.
it's the worst thing
Yeah.
that people can do, and it's why I think
I
people get
agree,
really
man.
addicted to averaging down is because
Yeah.
it works most of the time. So you get this like
Yes.
dopamine
Yes.
cycle of most of the time averaging down works,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one time it doesn't, that's kind of all you need. But your brain is just kind of like, oh, last time we did this, we had good feelings, so I'm gonna make you do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it teaches
It's the
you
it's the process oriented versus results oriented, right?
right. Yeah.
And newer traders this is where I want new traders to lose when they first start. Like the worst thing that can happen for a newer trader is to
win
learn
big.
from mistakes. Yes, exactly.
To enter the market in 2021 and buy a monkey pitcher and become a millionaire, and then you're like, oh yeah,
Your mind is just broken.
yeah,
broken.
you're giving that
Yeah.
all back, 100%. You're
Absolutely
giving that all
broken.
back.
Yeah, that is That's very interesting. Yeah, that you're equally disappointed, Nos, in a winner when you break rules. Yeah, I mean that's how it should be, but yeah, that's absolutely how it should be.
And it's hard. You have to like make yourself. You have to like, because you're like fighting the joy of, oh, there's green on the screen. I had a good day. I made money, and you have to go.
NNE breakout, guys. I'm liking this breakout. I'm looking for pullback here to get in. But SMR breakout, NNE breakout. I just traded the SMR breakout, and that's continuing to go now, almost to 42. Talked about nuclear stocks today, and there she goes. Well, that's what you call bada bing, bada boom.
We're trying to dig in here on the SPY. I want to see us back through view app, and again, this purple line is just this post-market high. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that zone. So we can break that area. That's what we're looking to see. But I still want it. Still nothing talking about what that weird spike was, right? If you see this on a 1 minute chart, we just rocketed. So it was either a stop triggered or something. But yeah, it was like out of nothing. I was convinced that there was some type of news event or something that was going on, some deal signed or something.
That was my demo account, Michael. I traded 100,000 shares that got triggered right there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's it.
Good morning, Josh.
That's it.
Howdy do.
It got you.
I was like, no, oh no, there goes 100K shares. That's a big number. I just lost millions. So
I didn't see you on the time and sales though.
Oh well, yeah, and I know it was
not displaying that.
I don't know, man. I look at receipts.
I look at receipts. WKEY.
Look at SMR go.
Interested in that one's kind of algorithmically trending up. Just hit 1620s. Interesting.
On fire. Almost 42 now.
Wild for an ADR like that's to move like that. China maybe.
Wow, yeah.
Semiconductor, which is crazy for just a foreign company. That much intraday.
FRGT TAC, you're working that as well. I'm looking for the 175 crack on that for a head down lower. Stop for me is up and over 2 on FRGT. But yeah, I'm with that. Around 202 is my average. I like it to stay heavy there against that 175 level. This morning, guys, I know a lot of traders that got wrecked on the VC this morning. This liquidity move was just painful.
Savage.
With manipulation much?
Yeah. So for those with that are trading on Trade the Pool, be mindful that you can set stops in pre-market, and they do work with stop limits. You set
stop limits, yeah.
And it's it can help you with this situation right here. It certainly has with me in the past. So especially when you're involved with like 8, right? Like I am this morning. I'm involved with 7 right now. So having the stops just to protect you from this kind of thing happening. VC is kind of, look, VC, I took a trade in pre-market after this liquidity move. That's an edge I like to trade. I took that around 290s. But outside of that, guys, I want, after yesterday with CODX, I'm like, I'm kind of stepping out of the way for the most part on the day one plays. But VC, if you want to, if there is a trade there, maybe against the open, 240s, on the short, 220s, kind of bear flagging ish up. It already did its liquidity move, so we'll see what's happening there. Josh, have you been focused this morning too, or your traders been trading that?
I didn't look. I mean, after that big move, I was like, I'm not touching that. That was heavy manipulation there, but W Key and Wolf are the two I've been looking at today, really for the most part. XHLD has been nice too for small caps. Again, slower day. It's going to be a slower week. It's just that week. It's going to be this way. Get used to seeing 30, 40, 50% gainers holding their gains, and that's what you'll be dealing with.
Man, NNE breakout, SMR breakout, right on top of it again. Your boy Money Mitch with the call, guys. I mean, damn. Sometimes you're good, baby. Look at that, man. This thing was sleepy. It's not like it was rocking and rolling yesterday, bro. No one was probably watching that today. Said, watch for nuclear trade to get hot here. And I have this feeling, man, we're going to find out that the U.S. government is maybe looking at NNE or SMR for an investment. I have this feeling, man, And Money Mitch gets these feelings. Look at the breakout. I'm looking for NNE above 4640s, and it's almost there, guys. This could be a nice breakout. Weekly chart pulled back, right? I love these weekly charts right now, guys. The weeklies are giving me a lot of edge right now. So if you don't use weeklies in the past or never have, well, start looking at them. That's what I would tell you. Start looking at them. That's how I've been able to capture a lot of alpha lately, guys. Just looking at weekly charts, looking for comebacks like this, strong stock, came back towards resistance, now can hold that resistance after they undercut them, right? They wash them before they send them. This could be at 60 in like a week or two. So I really like NNE here. Looks good. Look at it on the 15. You see how I just lifted off here? Now I'm just looking for pullbacks to 45 to jump in the party.
Anyone stay up and watch all 87 innings last night?
No, but
absolutely not.
It was a good game, at least so far, until I fell asleep in like the 12th. But
yeah, what a game! I didn't know about it till this morning. Woke up, I was like, wow, I turned it off too. I just
AMD
like I'm going to
just ripping, man. Whew.
Crazy.
AMD's strong. Microsoft pulling back here, giving you an opportunity. What about Qualcomm? Did we hit the spot yet? Oh, we hit it, baby. 180, 180.54, 180.54. We have two bottoms at 180.54. We recover 182. Might just go start fishing. And Qualcomm.
Robot's been real sleepy today. It's only
sleepy. Like the SPY
taken,
right now. The SPY's trying to get going here. Let's go, SPY. Let's start waking up.
SUPV, AN, and HCA are the three trades. QCOM might enter an order here. It's supposed to be around this range. Sometimes it takes a minute, but
this is not looking good, guys. It was looking so good yesterday. Look at this one. This was looking great yesterday. It's just pulling back right around my entry. I might have to get out of RXRX and then look to get back in. This is the hardest thing is swing trades. I try to get them to at least my minimum risk and return. But right now, this one's pulling back a little bit too much right now. Definitely can't make it a loser. But RXRX, it's a tough one. I was up like close to 400. My minimum rule is like 450 on that account. I'm really looking for 5-to-1 return. But hey, we'll see what happens.
FRGT guys on elevator watch right here at support 174.5. Just be mindful. I'm gonna take half off on a liquidity move lower if she dumps below this support here. FRGT.
I like that path move. Yesterday was pretty hot on path. Even though I got out, it was still a great day for it. Lung showing up on my scanner, bro. You guys watching Lung today?
Yeah, Lung. I remember seeing her. What's she? 220s where it was a level there. What's she doing?
212s, just hanging out there.
Okay.
Medical device name. Nice little pattern. Holding pretty well, I would say. And it had 10 million shares traded right out the gates. The volume is completely fallen off. Just look for the volume to come back through the resistance.
FRGT. If 175s are going to hold up, for now, I may just come out and leave leftovers to work against the $2 area.
Would
love to get in some SMR. Thanks for bringing that up again, Mitch. So
I got you, my friend. I traded it from 40s, like right before 40s, like 40, 50s to 41, like 10. But man, that thing took off the 41.
Yeah, it did. Looking to get filled there. I don't think she's going to dip there, so I'm going to wait for. Let's see if we can get a little sell off. But definitely, that's another good move.
42, I think, would be a nice opportunity if it gets back to.
It's one of those days too where I'm like, come back to like Wolf, and Wolf just hasn't come back to me yet. I'm like, come back to me, come to me, quit going.
That's why I watch NNE and SMR, and I'll just wait for one of them to show me a nice 15-minute like pullback, and then I can jump in on the party.
Yeah.
Looking for RR and Serve to get going, guys. I'm hanging out in these if you guys like smaller names, right? The $6 spot here, really nice pattern, holding well. Let's see if it can get going back above 6. Serve, still have that one. Looking for this to get back above 1450 and break towards the 15 today. Let's see if we get it. New account, boys. New account, new small boy. I got
Oh,
a new 25.
congratulations, by the way. You got the 50K funded. Saw
Yeah,
that.
man. It's time to
There
get
you
the
go.
third account funded. My goal is to eventually have like 10 of these, man.
Yeah, that's wise.
Not a bad way to do about it, right? I'm trying to get to $1 million somehow, some way. It might be with 10 packages, but hey, let's do it.
So, was that a swing or day
That's a
trade?
50 day trade.
Okay, very cool, very nice.
Now it's time to get the next 50 and then the next 50, and
Right.
that's it, man. Just keep stacking them up, and then keep them, right? That's the key.
Yeah, exactly. Keep
Gotta
them.
keep them.
Yeah, I was considering either the 50 or 100K here soon.
All right, let's get going, man. Let's go serve. Let's serve it up.
100 will probably next for me, but yeah, what you want to do is you want to try to fund it. I always recommend from payouts, right? Like climb a ladder. Especially if you're newer, start with the 5K, spend your $50, earn a couple bucks from it, then do your 25K, which is about $100, right? Earn a couple bucks from that, right? Don't just jump in and say I'm going to buy the 200K and you drop $1,000 and maybe it doesn't work out for you. It's like just start small and just from payouts of other accounts, right? Pay yourself the money that you put in back, and then save up to put a big one out there. Because if you can't pull in $100 from your 5K account, you're not going to be able to pull in $1,000 from your 50K account. You're not going to be able to pull in
the swing account. I'm trying to get it up to like 15K before I pull something out. I'm doing really well in the swing account too. Just got to keep pushing, guys. Let's go. Swing account, I'm up like over 1,000. So
Tesla's having a nice good day today too as well. I've been watching Tesla. She's been banging up with AMD today. Nice good
Tesla, dude. Tesla wants 500. I talked about it. It has 500 all over it, man. That thing doesn't seem like it wants to stop, and I wouldn't see it stopping. Remember I said the SPY might hang out for a little while the Qs just keep chugging along. That's exactly what's continued now. Now let's see if the Qs here takes a little bit of a pullback to 630, and then you see the SPY actually take lead and start to push right back to 687.
What's up, Baron? Good to see you in here. W key, break it down. Yeah, it's 6. So the Magic 20s held up on W key, 1620 holding up. It did a little descending triangle off of the 1620s as well. So, and now that could be your new risk guide there. Could be that support line, even the 1540s or 50s.
Right.
I'm heavy under the VWAP right now. So, yeah, not bad. Good work there.
All right, looking for things to start working now. I just got my ad on serve. Now I got 500 shares. So looking for it to start working. Start climbing.
Serve some tables there, baby boy. What you serving today? You serving
robotics, baby. Robotics.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know if the beer was coming out. We're done with American
robotics. No, I was the real American Rebel, man. I went with Cleveland Cliff, and I got the account on Cleveland Cliff. Steel, baby. Steel.
So, DVLT guys here is a hangover, but I was kind of scared to take this one just because it's the AI theme. But yeah, it's cracking the trend today. It's one that still has some meat on it to be mindful of. But tested yesterday, it's kind of consolidation resistance, and now she's just been profit taking off of that. But as far as FRGT's under 175 now, FYI. CYBN, I mentioned study this chart a little bit. It's just with the volume and the offering, and then of course CODX, very profitable. As Mitch and I we were discussing, this is the hangover right here, absolute hangover. I got in front of it yesterday, which paid the price for it, but just let the bulls have their day, guys. I mean, it's for me, my stats show it's essentially avoid the day one because it's like you could have big swings up and down, right? It's like I think we naturally get we naturally want that dopamine rush. I recognize that, but we have to often do what the we have to work against that dopamine, right? And so CODX yesterday, it had all the volume, all the hype. It creates an overcrowded name, which creates less edge, in my opinion. And then here's the edge today. That's just working out beautifully.
And I could not agree more. And I know we had a couple conversations about this in Florida too, is that I it's the reason that I almost exclusively play day two plays with the system now, is because I think the day one where everything's going crazy, you've got so much competition and people fighting back and forth, and you're right. I think a lot of people are drawn to it not because their stats say that it's good to play when everything's going crazy. It's just they see the potential money, and that kind of widens your eyes and increases that dopamine, and you want to do it. And it's like, because yes, you could have bought the thing that quintupled that day and made a bunch of money, but you're not. And that's why most traders are losing money. So wait for the next day and take that trade.
Yeah, like for instance, BYND. There were a lot of big traders flaunting their huge profits on this thing, trading at the day when everybody was, and somebody went all in, by the way, on this at like $7. They threw their story out there and they just lost all their money. But the BYND, for example, that was this short squeeze right here, and everyone's trading it like the day one, and like I said, flaunting their profits, and we have to fight against that comparison, which is ultimately the thief of joy, right? And focus in on what works for you. And yeah, you may hit a home run the first day this thing is, when it has, that was like, I think BYND on last Wednesday it was like the second tick. It was the second largest volume day ever recorded on ticker. It was like 3 billion plus shares traded on BYND. It was insane. And I didn't really take it, and I saw everybody making all this tons of money shorting it, but I recognize, look, this is overcrowded today, clearly. And that was the second, largest day volume-wise on a ticker ever recorded. So that's overcrowded right there. It ended up working out beautifully, but you got to say what works for me in my system that ultimately is going to keep me consistent over time.
Was that last Wednesday or was it Tuesday with the volume?
Thursday was this.
It was crazy both those days.
Both days it was crazy. It was Wednesday that I had, I believe, 3 billion. But Tuesday it would definitely traded probably close to $1 billion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's nuts.
And it just shows, I think, that even these meme stock crazes happen faster. Everything just happens faster now, right? It's bear markets happen faster, and turnarounds happen faster, and then even meme
Trump's in the predictive market. You don't want DJT right now.
Yeah. So far, looking at the SPY, we came right up. We bumped our head on the area that I've been watching, which is both VWAP here, and this is just the overnight high that we
just hanging out
here. And we bumped our head off that. And we pulled back just a little bit, nothing dramatic. So what I want to see is us hang out here for maybe another 10, 15 minutes or so and gather up some steam, and then start to potentially grind.
Yeah, look
higher.
at the hourly, and I think the hourly will make you feel a lot better, guys, on the SPY. You see, to me, that looks pretty still.
Right, we're just flagging.
Right in the line. Right in the line, right? Like we take
with yesterday's high.
You take it 687, and this could be another breakout on the SPY, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. It's just ideally, and I like when we get to VWAP. I don't want to see us kind of reject hard from it, but it's been maybe 8-10 minutes we've been hanging out here, so another few minutes, and then we rip through. Then it kind of starts to potentially reverse this downtrend and see if we can get back to these highs, and bleeding up into or just melting up entirely into earnings is something that makes sense to me. And then we see what earnings comes, because tomorrow night is the night where we've got like half of the S&P 500 in market cap reports, and then Thursday night it's like the other half of the S&P 500 market cap reports. So that could be the day that if you're those 2 days, if you're a swing trader and you're worried about large overnight gaps, it's probably a good period to hang out a little bit in cash, because we're either going to have massive gap ups or massive gap downs depending on what happens with those earnings reports. Everyone's looking at, okay, what does Microsoft say? What does all these big name guys say?
Qualcomm about to undercut the 180, guys. That's my trigger to maybe take a shot on that too. I took MSFU right now. It's just sideways here on the hourly, and it's just kind of easy, I think, to just pick the trend right back up here. And if Microsoft rides back to 60 on MSFU or on Microsoft overall, let's say 560s right back, that's going to drive the market, man. We know how big Microsoft is in the SPY, right? So
Are you taking QCOM, or are you going to take, what is it, QCML? Because leverage.
QCOM, about like 30 shares right now. Let's do it.
Because QCML
30 shares.
liquidish, and that's
just took a little bit there, guys.
$24. That's a double leverage. I think there's 2 double leveraged guys for QCOM.
I'm gonna risk like $40 on this, so about 0.75% here, and I'm already in. Tried to get the bottom there through the 180s, right? So I'm dip buying for sure. But if this thing just comes back on the hourly and just gets back to trend line approach, which is 187.50, that's a nice 225 on this account. So I'll risk the $40 for the 225 anytime.
That is the only calculation you need to make as a trader, right? And then if you are right, that's what
good math right there.
5x.
That's it.
Right.
That's what I like to do sometimes, guys.
You're a fart smeller or a smart feller, as they say.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, I say that one to my son, and it triggers him into the sun. I'm just no fart smeller. Or like he's gonna fight me. I'm like, dude, you're 3.
Well, Microsoft not looking bad either. Let's see if the market wants to go up again today, guys. Buy the dip. Buy the dip's been working, baby.
Jeez, yeah. And our dip was 0%. That's all we could get. Is it went flat on the day, and everyone's like, let's do it.
Yeah, man. So I think one of the things that I did in Rich Tech I loved is that I was 400 shares and I dropped it to 200 shares. That's allowed me to stay in this whole time. Like positioning, right? I got back towards the kind of the red, and I was like, yeah, don't be full sized here, Mitch, if you are going to let it go red, because that's how you mess it up. Right?
It is the largest tip I could give to any traders, new, old, whatever. You're probably trading too big. Like it's just, even if
it's okay to take swings, but know when to take that size right back off.
Right. And especially when you're new, like you're probably trading, when we say, swing big, we're probably starting from a much lower base than you are, right? You're when we say swing
big, all the not 99% of buying power,
right? And that's probably what a lot of people are saying.
I hear some gurus out there that use full max leverage on every trade.
Yeah, well, good for them.
Exactly.
Not the recipe for success. At
Tap
least.
me on the shoulder when they're here, and
how many of their students are successful? Yeah, exactly. It's not wise.
Don't judge him on his account. Judge him on everybody's account in the chat room.
Yeah, it's like
if everyone just makes money, well then we go over there, guys. Let me know. We'll go over there and rate it for sure.
TAC loves it as well, and it's the trade small, trade often. It's like my favorite trading quote is like, because that's the idea. It's like we saw it when Kevin came in today, just killing it today, just murdering it, and he's got like 10 trades on, and he's discretionary, and he can put that many trades. So I hear some people say, oh, I don't want to take too many trades because I'm not a systems guy. It's like, well, right, and I'm sure Kevin will tell you he's not all in on any one of those trades. Those are all probably relatively small positions at this point. And, having that diversification allows so much, right?
Qualcomm looking great, man. I want to add to that.
I appreciate that. I think the biggest mistake for me, and I say this because I want to help traders that may be struggling with the same thing, is I find a ticker I like too much. Like, and then I will size it inconsistently. Relative to the rest of my trades, like I did yesterday on Codex, and take a bigger loss than usual. And so what works better for me is saying, look, I have the experience. I know what I'm looking at. These hands look good. These hands look okay. And sometimes the hands that look just okay work better than the hands that, look great. And so sizing consistently is, for me, equals a little bit more consistent results. And the 100%. Winners, like Mitch says, size those. It helps me to be more systematic like Nos. I'm trying to, I work towards that. How can I be more systematic in my approach where I'm less biased and I create more of an objective kind of perspective on this? And when I can just see, okay, if I'm involved in one trade, there's so much bias on one trade. Oh, this has to work. I'm in this one trade. When I see 8 and 1 or 2 aren't working, there's less bias. I say those aren't working, cut them out. The ones that are working, size into them. That's ultimately, that's what works for me, at least.
Pull the weeds, water the flowers, right? That's another.
Don't make it difficult, man. Don't make it difficult, guys. And especially if you're going to be willing to open up multiple positions, that's what you just do. And I think, you take both of that, right? You take the strength of trying to systemize, like Michael's telling you, right? Maybe it's not actual system, right? Maybe it's not an automated system, but at least have the system. And then also have the ability to learn from what I'm trying to give a lot, which is learning that you do got to learn, when do I hit the gas pedal also. It's not just risk management. It's also, how do I maximize returns, right? And so the way to do that is only to step up when it's working. Now, when it's not working, right? And that's where, the whole dangerous game of, averaging down can really be the disaster. That's why Michael told you the majority of the times, it can kind of work, but a lot of times it's going to lead you to that recipe of disaster. That's why I adjusted my thinking in it and just adding when I'm winning, not adding when I'm getting defeated, right? Like, let's say like Rich Tech right now, perfect example, right? Like, I'm down on this position and everything tells me, well, Mitch, it's not really down. Let's just maybe let's just maybe add a little bit here. You'll go down
the devil
a
on the shoulder.
And it just starts trying to tell you,
You got to know. Human behavior suggests when we're red, we tend to be more hopeful, and that's why the natural instinct is to add. And I know that firsthand because it starts looking better. Like for a short seller, when something's going euphoric, it is hard just to say, you know what? It's difficult to say, I'm wrong, and this is seeing irrationality, and it's going to stop me out, and I'm going to step away and not keep trading this thing because we want to be hopeful when we're red.
And what did I do there? I actually just stepped up 10 measly shares in Qualcomm because that one's working for me, right? Go step up in the one that's working for you, size down, or completely get out in the ones that aren't, right? And let's say Rich Tech here, or Serve, at this point, I sized up in this into the win, and at this point, I just got to know my out. Just know the out, right? I'm sized in. Now I know my out. I set stops and I just let it work, guys. The trades that will lead you to success are the green ones, right? So just water the weeds, pull the weeds, water the flowers.
That's a really good quote.
So this is Paul Tudor Jones, right? One of the greatest traders of all time. This is him in the 70s, and look at this poster behind his head. It just says "Losers average losers." And right, so just you want one of the greatest of all times, 60 years ago, giving this piece of knowledge. And he obviously had this giant sign hanging in his office because he had learned from experience that this is just not the way to do it, right? And so he's just back there, and I love seeing that this is, again, one of the goats out there had to have that holding up in his office just to remind himself to, hey man, don't do it.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. It's the scaling, the power of scaling. I have recognized, I've admired those who do it well, but for me personally, I got to focus on just good single entries versus sizing. Do you think there's a difference, Nos, between adding to a loser and scaling a loser?
Yes, it's the difference whether it was a plan from the get-go or whether it's because one of them is just a pain avoidance mechanism.
Yes, exactly.
Right? It's I don't like seeing red on my screen, therefore I'm going to average down so that it needs less of an up move to get me green. That's just a pure pain avoidance. But if it's I like this stock, I'm going to plan to buy some at 10 and some at 9 and some at 8 and then stop at 7. That's a different executed plan versus a my fifis my feelings feel bad, so I want to take more risk to make my feelings feel good. That's just different world.
Absolutely, and some traders, we could get lost in like seeing some charts where people it just looks like a Christmas tree, but that's part of their plan. It's not just like add into oblivion until it works out. As we discussed earlier, that works a high majority of the time when you're buying something up that's maybe selling off, but the time it doesn't, it's going to be blow up day. W key looking heavy against VWAP, FYI.
So is the market. Tried there. And tried and got rejected. So I'm looking to see closely what happens next. This is starting to look a little more and more bear flaggy here.
Yeah.
Right. So
some
if we can't
stops being triggered now. So definitely.
And if we can't,
we're starting to see some downside come in, playing in. There's the VXX starting to push there for the 3250 break. So yeah, you could start seeing some slippage here.
Yeah, so we just need to see very quickly a retake here of VWAP, and that would kind of negate this pattern here. But yeah, this is now starting to look like a push down off the open, and then the slow grind. Now, again, my perfect world, I think the quote unquote healthiest thing is just for us to hang out here under VWAP and then just rip right through after that. But if we start to give too much, so if we start to see ourselves in the 385s, testing these lows, I'm way less bullish on the day. And again, for context, we're still up on the day, even after all this action from the open anyway.
Yeah, out on Rich Tech and Serve there, took the hits down, guys, down about 128, but that's off of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses, right? 5 losses, 1 win, 147, down about 128 on the small account. Just keep battling. Kept the green, though. Qualcomm. Let's see if it brings me back.
PayPal, again, just the experiment from this algo we're building was just a slow grind. Again, I took part of the position off somewhere around here and just raised the stop up. So now it's just it either holds VWAP and keeps going or doesn't, but turns out to be an okay trade. Next one I'm watching now is this UNH. Right, comes right up, keeps hitting VWAP and rejecting over and over and over again after that early kind of gap fill. So through VWAP, I'm going to take UNHG as we kind of test out this idea. This is beauty. This is only a $20 stock, and you get the double leverage there. So it could be a good one.
I'm still looking for NNE's pullback now. We're getting it finally. You might get a wicked one in SMR. Just be careful out there. I know how SMR loves to make this big move, and then all of a sudden, whoop. So that got to 43.64. What an early buy, man. I had 200 shares of that. Maybe just ran a little too fast. That was that 147 winner, but it was just so fast for this small account that I took it. We'll see. And what was that? Sizing up at the right time. That's all it was. That's why it was such an outsized return really quickly. And what I do is a majority of the times at that point, it needs to be like just after your entry once you see strength come in on the tape. That's what I've learned. And then all you're looking for from that moment on is just that exact thing you just saw, strength on the tape. If that at any moment changes, you just get out. Mm-hmm. And then you might take a small loss or a small winner, but that gives you that ability to really size up at that, what we call decision-making moment for the win, right?
I'm actually looking at that short too now, honestly, Mitch. We've seen a lot of that with SMR, the reversal days or whatever.
Oh, it loves to do it. It loves to do it where you think you got it pegged and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a move right back to 41. I mean, that's $2 down.
Yeah.
So how would you short that, Josh? Just like
what I'd be looking for is a back under that last bounce area. So I know the liquidation sweep would come underneath that. So 42.25 is what I'd be looking for, and just patience. Maybe it forms a head and shoulder, so I short the bottom of the shoulder essentially. So we formed a head, we formed a shoulder so far. I just wait to see if we form another shoulder, and I'll short the bottom of 42.25, like Mitch is saying. A down to the VWAP, but then B to 41. Get about $1.25 out of it somewhere in there. I'm not greedy. I don't really care about how much profit I make. It's just about being a part of the pie. If I can get a half slice, a full slice, 2 slices, pie's good for me, baby. I'll take any slice of pie, except for mincemeat. I'm not a big mincemeat pie guy. Pretty much any other pie I'll eat, though.
Q's heading down fast. That's going to help the trade. I might take it here right off the stop, but I mean, that's just if you want to wait a little bit, I can't blame you either. But I do see the trade there. Market's coming down fast here. I'm taking it.
Yeah, I think today too, just overall, I think tomorrow with JP and FOMC, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up kind of getting chopped out and range bound for the rest of the day and kind of.
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, not only that, so we got FOMC, then we got Microsoft, Meta, and Google all reporting after the close.
Tomorrow.
Right? Yeah. That's that in it. I think that's like 20% of the S&P 500.
Yeah, right, it's a lot of market cap. Yeah. And because then the next day you got a couple on Thursday too as well. So that's why I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Amazon and Apple on Thursday. So it's going to be a fun 24-hour period there.
Yeah, this is the one where if as soon as we have 24-hour markets, this is where like people start doing heavy drugs to try to stay awake for that. Get into it.
Just get the what's the Leonardo da Vinci? What are we taking the
Da Vinci Code?
The limitless.
The limitless one. Yeah,
let's take it, man.
And then also on Friday is gonna be a big day too. We got the PCE, and I forgot that was on Friday too. So the PCE index, the PCE core, whatever year over year.
That actually come out with the government close? I can't keep track.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Data subject related. But all those there's an asterisk by all of those. See exactly that. Yeah, won't happen.
Because some of them come out and some of them don't. And I can't keep track of it. Like, get back to work, guys. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Government, get back to work.
I don't want to, man. They don't want to. All right, SMR. Now it's time to whoosh. With the SPY whooshing. VIX is jumping. That's what I wanted to see at least. VIX is moving more than the SPY.
It was funny. I got someone, a buddy of mine, he's pure data for politics, right? And no dog in the fight. And he's studied recent shutdowns. And what you do is you start taking they take the polls. And if the polls are blaming both parties evenly, the government stays shut down. And then the moment the polls shift to blame one party more than the other, like at a significant manner, they open it back up. Because it's that party that goes, okay, we'll concede on whatever. And now, I guess, he's expecting a much longer shutdown than this because he's saying the polls are dead even. Everyone's blaming. Everyone just hates everyone right now. As soon as it shifts, so that they're both working on kind of optics. Because if they can shift to say, no, it's not us that's keeping us closed, it's them. Then if you win that argument, then there you go.
Them. Yeah, that's exactly it. And in this case, it's all about the Democrats releasing a little bit of hold on the Obama health care because Trump's trying to put that to bed.
It's like that Spider-Man gif where like both Spider-Mans are pointing at each other.
Yeah, they're all pointing at each other. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's
exactly it.
All about the optics behind it, right?
Squeezing on SMR, so it's right back up. Just be careful out there, guys.
Tack and Kevin there talking about Beyond Meat.
They're trying to break it out.
Round 2 on this guy, or what?
I mean, I can't imagine that. She's probably just
GameStop.
I mean, look,
remember,
it's so liquid. It's so liquid. Well, yeah, go for it.
Just as an old man, time to do my history lesson. But remember, GameStop had a round 2 before it went to crap. Right, had the initial surge, and then sold off, and then it had this kind of round 2 where it went up.
Yeah, what was the time in between though? Between round 1 and round 2?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 days.
Yeah, that's very rare. BYND for this to get back up to the highs, 8s. Oh my goodness! I mean,
I don't think the meme. I think it's like you had this movement where everyone kind of joined the cult with the meme stocks, and everyone got super excited, and then everyone got screwed. So I think it's going to take a long time before people forget enough that you can have another one of those moments, because this was like GameStop was everywhere. It was on TV, and people were buying billboards, and like it was a thing.
Movie came out last year, even with like Seth Rogen, whoever was in that movie last year, like September or whatever came out last year.
Yeah, I just don't think you can. They burnt so much money. I just don't think you can do that again. You can't get that can't rally that kind of animal spirits one more time for something.
Diamond hands. Hey, let's do it with AREB. Let's do it, baby.
Man, I haven't seen any clips come out, but if they didn't clip that, what are you clipping, man? That was a hilarious.
Yeah, right.
And you better not have been shorting this as a hangover there, Kevin, or I'm calling him, and that's a scary looking dude will come to your house.
Yeah, I got about
Stopped
20
out there on SMR.
and AREB is one of them. I was eyeballing it, but it's
You were scared dude would get mad and write a country song about you.
Exactly. No, it's
and
like
country song
the risk was a little further up. Like on Friday was a good day for it. You see that.
Adding on Qualcomm, guys. I got 80 shares now in Qualcomm.
Ooh, that's
so when and this is just a quick little sizing lesson. Like for the newer trader, they don't know how to size dynamically. But for like if we're on a day 3 hangover, no, it's like I'm not gonna size as if it's day 1. We maybe sprinkle something on it because there still is some edge there, but it's not gonna get the same size.
All right, looking really good in Qualcomm, guys. I'm just trying to add on the right spots now.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I'm looking at, which I would love to dip by there on SMR, like you talked about. Wanted that down around 42. We talked about that earlier, Mitch, and then it just keeps on rolling.
That's why you get out.
Yeah,
that's why you get out, man. I would have got ran over there. Took a hit, but a hit is better than a major loss. And what was it? $70, right? Just keeping my losses in the range that I wanted them to be. And when you take a loss like that, just move on, right? Don't get dragged. Yes. As long as it wasn't outsized and you kept it within your range, just keep moving on, guys. Work with what you got. Don't work with what you don't got, right? What it was not the time. So what did I just do there? I just got a nice add there on Qualcomm again. And what did I do? Looked for the pullback, got it to come right back to me. Now, if it starts going 181, I'm looking really good. And all I am is up to 180.30. And I wanted to be close to 180. So 30 cents off of that makes me feel really good, especially if we start to go $1 away. So not a bad move there.
Watching long. Watching
NNE right back up. So that's another good one. I might swing trade NNE here.
LUNG, Mr. Josh, what you looking at?
Yeah, one of that. Literally, I have a feeling it's gonna shut down here. I really would love to get that into the 2.5s, after hour resistance area, but it's just not looking like it wants to get higher than 240 today. So SMR is the money mover, but yeah, long on one of this. I'm watching it over to the right there on my TTP chart and my other Thinkorswim chart there, just kind of lining up the 15-minute and the 5-minute together here, but we'll like that up in that 255, 250 area. I just think it's going to get there. I think we're going to get shoved in right here and kind of get range bound today and just stay within the 230, 235 mark. But something that we're getting today a little bit for small caps. We're not getting a lot like I talked about. And it's probably going to stay this way as we move Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for your small cap traders. Slow and steady wins the race here over the next few days. And day one runners, same thing. I don't think you're going to get a lot of big movers. You kind of got some liquidation move earlier from, a VC, but I see it being slower for the rest of the week for sure. Honestly, SMR, good golly, good move there. Good move there for SMR.
Hey, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's why you listened in, guys, this morning on Trader TV talking about nuclear coming back. NNE looking good. I took the swing right there. I took 50 shares on NNE. Wanted to really hold 46 here and give it a chance to hold 46 before I really size up. But 50 shares, not bad. Looking for a continued run on this thing. And NNE, when it gets going, it could easily gap up. We could be at $50 before we know it. So I'll take the shot here. That's $4 more. It's about $200 upside outlook just to the trend line. Trend line is up at 52. So on a daily approach. I like these sometimes where I'm trying to trade it to the trend line. I don't even need the breakout, right? I'm just trying to get it back to this green line here. If it gets back to this, that's a hell of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's what I call trend line approach trade. You're just trying to approach the trend line back. And these happen often. Now, breakouts happen rare.
Just going to go over GSIT real quick, guys. Working this. There still may be, some meat here if anybody's interested. But GSIT's just a hangover. So what I look for, previous clothesline 1205. Slow, real slow here. It's slightly spready, so you have to size according to that. But risk here for me is over 1180s on GSIT for a continual fade. This one did offer. This was a hot play last week, and it did offering out in the 10s. Here's more of a zooming out chart. 1350 is fairly good there as well. But this one's up from $5 a couple, even just a couple weeks ago, up towards hit high of 20.
Yeah, right after the opening, whatever was it last week? Monday. Last Monday, day after getting back from the money show. That was a banger. And then kind of seems like since then we've just been slowly but surely getting slower and slower and slower in small caps and not getting the bigger moves. Besides BYND, which was that multi-day kind of squeeze last week, but it's been a little slower. It's going to stay that way, honest. Like I said, through Thanksgiving, through Halloween. So spooky season ahead there.
You know it, my friend. Spooky.
Dude, we have. I don't know what the twins have been doing, Mitch, but
it's spooky over here, baby.
with the Uncle Skeleton in the back, yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Dude, I have so much candy for like an entire year already. 'Cause they do like the trunk or treats at local churches, and it's just insane.
I mean, candy. That's like to think about candy when I think about that, because I see the big bags are like $20, $25. That's got to be $100 worth of candy. Then you probably haven't.
Yeah, it was kind of un-American yesterday. The short report got put out on Hershey's. I was like, that's so un-American, dude. I think they were trying to short Tootsie Roll. That's what they were trying to short.
Oh man, come on, not the Tootsie Rolls.
The Tootsie Roll.
I would short a Tootsie Roll.
The Tootsie Rolls.
Not a Tootsie Roll guy.
No, I'm not a Tootsie Roll guy either, man. You can't ask me to bite into that rubber.
I would. I'd participate in that short. Good old Hershey's a chocolate bar. No, leave me in the chocolate bar, but I'll short it.
I had one recently.
It was Spruce Capital, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, I would short the heck out of a
Tootsie Roll.
All right, so Thursday, let's find Tootsie Roll, not AREB. We're finding Tootsie Roll Thursday, and we're going to be going all aboard, going long.
That Tootsie Roll.
Dance for us up there. Come on.
That Tootsie Roll. You know I ain't scared, Kevin.
W key hit that support line.
We should have been recording that bowling alley session, guys.
For real.
Bring Josh and I to the tournament. Let's go.
I'm down.
We're having fun out there, man.
I wish we all lived closer so we could do that like once a month. Have a little trade the pool get together. Once a month, once every couple of months. That would be fun.
Well, you guys can always come to Orlando. You can come on back. Come on back.
Yeah,
we got Mickey Mouse here.
My kids are well aware. They're always
Mickey Mouse. They're ready.
They're ready. W key crack in this little line here. It's 15. So you got. If you can get it closer to that 1540 risk, that's not terrible. W key.
Yeah, I mean, just like we talked about earlier, 30-40% gainers. Take the slow and steady base hits. Bunts even, this week you're going to be looking at it. So just take it when you get it. Don't try to swing for the fences. Yep. This isn't truly the World Series. Come on, take it slow and steady. Nice.
Wolf up 22%. What's that? That's probably a combination of just nuclear and.
There's a WULF and WULF.
Yeah, WULF, right? The Bitcoin, their whole shtick is they're doing Bitcoin mining with nuclear power and more kind of green ideas, right?
I like it.
Starbucks closing stores. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well. I only knew that was coming when we lived in DFW. It was forever ago. When we first moved down to Dallas about 10 plus years ago, and they were just popping up on every corner. Like it's kind of like CVS's and Walgreens. Like that. Like this can't last forever. Got one on every corner.
And then like in the States, they love to put them right across each other.
Yes,
I'm like
literally.
that's smart, guys. That's so wise, right? Just it's the same thing with Home Depot and Lowe.
Yeah.
I'm like, who? I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second here.
Yeah, you go.
That's the typical, though. That's United States for you. E-commerce, baby. What's it like up there in Canada? Y'all have that same kind of thing, in Canada, Nos, where it's, where they just love to shove things right across from one another and as many things as they can in one area?
Yeah. There's like a weird nexus in my town where if you stand in like one spot, you can see it's like 3 different grocery stores that have 3 different liquor stores and 3 different weed stores, and it's like they all like converge in this one spot. I'm like, why? What do we need that for? Like, just build one. Like, you're too lazy to walk 2 feet.
Yeah. And it's weird how people get there. I only shop here. I don't go there. And I'm just like, I just want my groceries. I don't care if it's the town market. I don't care what it's called. I just want to get my vegetables and fruit.
You don't care if it's the Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, you know it exactly.
Which is hilarious that's an actual, that's like a store that exists there, and they chose that name.
Yeah,
they're just keeping it.
Yeah,
like, that's hilarious to me.
Welcome to the United States. It was awesome too. It was like at the Money Show, where that last day on Saturday, I had to make a phone call to the person about putting the booth up, and so I make a phone call, and we still, a lot of us still leave voicemails here, in the United States, and so it's formal. If I've never talked to the person before, I'm not going to text them or leave a voice message. I'll actually leave a phone call voice message, right? Like leave them a message that they have to then play and listen. And Michael Katz and even Gil were like, y'all. Did you just leave? They were like, did you just leave a voice message? It was so funny that they were just like shocked. Like I was like, yeah, what's wrong? They're like, we don't do that. What are you doing? They're like, they're trying to learn what us Americans still do, And I'm like, oh yeah, we're still like in 1993 over here. We love to leave a good old voicemail.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, all right, boys, it's time to pass the torch. Right now, the market's still up as I'm leaving this. Right, it's up 0.1%, so it's not much. So remember, if the market crashes, it's your fault now. Right? we had an up market. If it's a down market on you guys, then that's you. But and yeah, for everyone else, right, just have a blast, man. And I think Josh has hit the nail on the head where we've got some chop coming in. So don't go crazy. All right.
Yeah, we appreciate you per usual. Good conversations. A lot of value there.
Guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good weekend. A good weekend. I'm already ready for Halloween.
I was about to say, see you guys soon, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not letting you off that early. Come on. Later, guys.
I'm the same way with my Friday night live streams that I do. I'm always like itching to say good morning. Let's find something to trade.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hang on. It's the weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Still
watching for SMR here for that reversal. Finally got that top. I know it's kind of what Money Mitchell's looking for. I would love that back through 45 or 42.25 and that VWAP on the way back on down. That's the only thing I'm looking at right now. I like SMR's movement for the day. Long, seeing if we can get this up to 255, test that, go short up top there for that resistance fail. It's not getting me filled though, so this might be the top right around 249, 248 there. Really, the only 2 tickers I'm looking at. WKey's a little too slow for me. BYND a little too BYND for me. Like we talked about. Give me the real meat, Kevin. Yes, have I had it before? I did, but just give me a real juicy, ground chuck beef burger. Come on now, but not a bad setup. We are staircasing up here, so 1 stair, 2 stair, 3. On BYND as of right now. So not bad, again, like what, I talked about that. And of course, Michael Noss backing it up. I think it's going to be slower. For sure, small to mid caps. And then you get into large caps. And I think, like I talked about, we were really getting there with the SPY right now. We'll just go over and show the large cap play in the SPY. I just feel into today, into tomorrow now, we get range bound with FOMC. Usually that happens with a lot of data releases that usually would be happening, but I guess we're not going to get this week. We're still going to get FOMC with the government shutdown. But we do have, like Nas talked about, a lot of big earnings reports the next couple of days. So I think large caps could get a little stuck, so to speak, into that. There's Mitch back. There's my man.
Yeah, man. Look at Qualcomm go. Now almost to 181.46. So now I have a...
Let's go.
Yeah, I feel you there. Hopefully
leaning into the winner.
tell you about. Nice job, bro.
Yeah, good work. There are days
why did I get? I got my own rug pull there. So yeah, I'm gonna look for a move to like 185, guys, which could be like 567. So.
If you play the risk reward correctly, like Mitch is doing, traders, there are days that I've had like mostly red trades and then one green trade that you just maximize and you're good. I mean, it wipes away all the red, with proper risk management. So
that's what it is majority of the time, guys. I'm going to set a stop also on the NNE trade at like 45.70. Max I lose on this is like $37. That sounds perfect to me. I'm trying to get it back above 46.43 and 43.61, which is yesterday's high. And then I think NNE can really fly today. So just keep your eyes on those names, guys. I think nuclear is back. And I'm saying it now, guys. When you hear that Trump wanted a small nuclear reactor, it could be NNE or SMR. I don't know which one's it going to be. But I think they both fly on the news, right? So I'd be watching those names, guys. Something tells me that don't look too far away. The SPY, of course, could trickle all day and then just give up out of nowhere. It's just sideways right now. It still hasn't really got it going anywhere. It's all on the tech names that are kind of coming back right now. They're just driving the boat. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys appreciated everything that we do here. And, of course, we'll keep it going with the boys here, so don't go anywhere. A lot more for you guys on the day. I think Kevin, Josh, of course, will be going strong here. Let me fix that banner right quick. I don't know why I fix it like almost every week, but you know how it is, man.
Oh, yeah, the beat acting live. Yeah.
We're still beating them up. We're still beating them up, man. What can I say? There you guys have it. Have a fun time. I'll see you guys next time, man. Take care.
Yeah, good work. Yep. Take care.
Rocking and rolling. Yeah, I agree with you though, Oplin. I'm just, I'm always at the house though too. We're, back to the Home Depot lows. But yeah, some people, that's how people get. They get to where they prefer one store. One bad thing happens, so they never go there again. But yeah, where's the cheapest? Where's the closest? Hell, even more, I never thought I'd be this person where I could just get it delivered. Like anything, for the most part, you get it from Amazon or whatever, and we can get it delivered the next day. Dog food, cat food, bunny food, fish stuff, or not fish stuff. We have
by the bots, dude. You saw where they're like Amazon's getting rid of tons of jobs, replacing them with bots. So the bots are going to be delivering. NOS's bots are coming to our home.
Yeah, that they are. But yeah, and I never thought I'd be that person. But yeah, that's just me now where I just don't have the time ever to really get out. I like to just, get out and drive my vehicles. I'm a big car guy, but yeah, it's I never really get the chance to go out. So I'm just more about just give it to me. I don't really care what it is. Well, that's just how, people are. And I am, I don't have that whole, which people get that way. I've seen that throughout life where you like Taco Bell. I like Taco Bueno. And I'm like, you do realize that that's the same trash. It ain't, the food quality ain't any better. I can't stand Burger King, but they love rallies or McDonald's.
El Taco gets you right.
Hey, there you go. That's good stuff, though. There you go. I mean, but there are those people out there, that have their favorites. I'm not a favorites guy. I don't really like even beverages to like, what's your favorite soda? What's your favorite candy? Hell, I'll even throw a Tootsie Roll down every once in a while. I love that. Mitch, that was hilarious. Him and Nos were like, ugh, get that rubber out of here. I'm like, I'll eat it. If it's in the Halloween basket, I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh, I just had one, but it did taste like rubber.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Whatever rubber tastes like, it tasted like.
Yeah, if you eventually have like better quality, food, you eventually kind of down the years you start going, yeah, that's. But then it's funny because then you have older people. I don't know if they just revert back to it, like my pappy, of course, God rest his soul, beautiful man that he was. I mean, he'd be eating Vienna sausages. He's lived a great life, but he's 80 years old, and he's eating canned sausages and water. Vienna sausages. I don't know if you ever had Vienna sausages.
My parents used to feed me that. Yeah.
Used to feed me that. It's like I didn't want it, but I had it anyway.
They put it in my dog bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. See, it's just to each their own. It is what it is, but I love it. Dog meat is dog meat. Yeah, right. Opland, but for sure. I like food. I don't have that. I like Taco Bell, I like Del Taco, whatever. Taco
Lung
Casa.
at highs, guys. Take a deep breath. Lung, head it up for new highs. Inhale.
Yeah,
L-U-N-G.
and the one thing I see, I wanted that fork move that we didn't quite get that you always talk about real quick. I always call it too much, too fast. Just a real quick move up into that 250, 255 area. So it's kind of staircasing into it. When I notice that, like yourself, especially when it's after hours high, it's yesterday's high. It'll work out a little bit like it does now, but what generally happens most of the time I've noticed is it squeezes through that and will go up. It's more of a 50-50 kind of trade versus a, hey, it happened in pre-market, or hey, it happened earlier in the day. We would get that reversal, and so we don't have that really. We're having more a staircasing move into that area. Right. And it was yesterday and after hours. So a lot of traders are going to, kind of taking that with a grain of salt, and it's not usually as good of a short, but it is working out right now. Small little reversal at that area, but yeah, just a slow play. Like I said, we're going to probably have this through today into tomorrow, 30, 40, 50% gainer. So when you wake up tomorrow and show up in pre-market, don't be surprised. Like today, your top gain was, other than VC that kind of got that crazy squeeze out of nowhere, but for the longest time, and especially other than VC, your top gainers were 20, 30, 40, 50% essentially in pre-market today. Let's see here. XV, Mr. Say, should I keep holding SOFI? Well, I don't know if you're in long or you in short for SOFI. What are you in long or in short there, boss man? Mr. XFin, say. You want to let us know if you're in long or short. Let me know. Help you out a little bit there with SOFI. But yeah, sideways movement, especially from large cap plays, from SPY there. Even right now, I was watching WQ earlier, sitting a little flat now from SMR, although we could see that reversal. And I like this mark that I'm looking for right here, team, back under 42.20 or so, back under that VWAP area. Go over to SOFI, but you can see SPY is tight. She's tight today. Let me know about XFIN if you want to, about SOFI if you're still holding. We'll help you out as best we can there, and best we can. So when do when you have them, when do the kids celebrate Halloween other than Halloween night? Do they have something like, are they in a grade school? Are they in like a daycare? Do they have any of that like before Halloween fun or parties?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my son's in kindergarten. They have a fall party Friday, and then daughter's in preschool. They got fall stuff going on. So yeah, this whole week's nothing but pretty much candy and hay rides. Like I said, we got candy for like a year, dude. We already got so much of it. The problem is keeping them off of it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They want to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's been so long since I've been there. Like we get it now, and I'll get that little binge, and it's kind of more of a lunch to dinner. But I'm like, where you're kind of craving it at different times of the day. But yeah, I remember that as a kid. You're just like, I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. More candy.
Traders right now, I'm still just kicking back. G-sit. I got leftovers FRGT. That one's just trickling lower on the short side, and then CYBN just kicking back there from an early short. They offered out 650, so those I'm just kicking back with bigger day picture on the short side, and then outside of that, just waiting and seeing if anything's going to come to us. But I agree with Mr. Josh on the stair-steppy nature of a lung. That's something I kind of avoid too. Even if you have the level there that you want to short, that is working out right now, triple top in there, it's still stair-steps a sign of health. You want to see euphoria getting kind of, like, for example, VC this morning. Once this had this euphoric liquidation move, it was pretty much been a wrap from there. That's what you're more so looking for. Those elevator down moves and then the liquidation sweep, and then it's usually heavy from there. That's what I said. It's an edge I like to trade after that happens, taking the short to ride it on down. And VC, there's certainly still something here. I mean, it's heavy against the open. It's having a tough time against that 240 level. We could see that one trickle on down today. But outside of that, I mean, we're watching the same tickers. Lung, 250s holding up. Wiki, interesting. This one, it's a little slower, a little creepy crawler, like Josh said. But so, not a lot of like range on it at this point. It had its move. I mean, the range is what we look for, right? It's had decent range on the day, but we look left, right? And what do we see? Like Mitch was talking about, you look left, and the last time it had similar volume to this, it kind of closed, near its high on the day, way back here in the past chart history. Had a similar kind of day closed near the high. The next day had a similar, leg up, a little wicky. This is something you gotta take a look at on the past chart history. There was a ticker that I'm trying to remember from last week. QLGN. Look at this. This was a beautiful example of this. QLGN. I looked left here this day that it spiked up towards $6, and I saw, oh, guess what this thing typically does when it has this level of volume and it opens up high like this, it gives the whole day back, and it did just that day. So it lets you literally, Josh, you see into pretty much the future looking at the past chart history. Of course, it's not concrete. Of course, nothing is, but it allows you to get an idea of the personality of these tickers.
Yeah, got to look at, like I said, up to the left, down into the left. Always got to go back into the left there and try to find where you're going to next, or where you could go to, essentially. And again, a lot of the time, it's just going to tell you where you're going. And that's the thing I always try to talk about, those technical sound tickers, because the more technical sound the chart is and the way it's running, then usually you can just literally almost, I say trade blind, but it's a lot easier when you can find really good lines, levels to put in, and you're respecting that, or the chart is, essentially, and you can just trade those levels, lines over and over and over, which makes it easy. Speaking of staircasing, BYND is kind of doing the same thing. So very similar, not exactly the same, but price level, area, chart, pretty similar. BYND, LU, and G here. And this is what we mean by staircasing, where, there's going to be some decent shorts up top that you'll see here, but the reversals are very short-lived, and they're not very long or big reversals. So this is kind of what that nature of what we're talking about, where we like a nice, quick, fast move up. When you get the quick move up, you get the sell off, and then possible more continuation down. But when you don't get that quick, and you can tell today what would be quick and a lot, essentially. So in 2 candles, 185 to 235. So we can see there that was about a 50-cent pop in 2 candles in 6 minutes. Well, we're not getting a 50 or 60-cent pop in 2 candles here in 6 minutes. So that lets you know, as he was saying, bullish, shows a sign of strength and could squeeze and go for more, a lot like BYND has continued to climb to new highs there. What do we know? I need to get with Katz here and the guys. Do we know anything about the small cap series, and when do we know that could get released?
Yeah, I need to ask him about that. I'm not sure either, but I'm pretty certain they're all edited at this point now.
Okay, sweet.
So it's just a matter of how and when they're going to release that. I'll send them a message right now.
Yeah, do
it.
Hitting
some resistance. Yeah,
I played one last week for my stream. That one had been edited. It was just a slow day. It may have even been Friday. I forgot what day it was, and I put it on. And they were, he may have been in after hours. I forgot what day that was, whether it was Thursday or Friday. I don't know if Cosmic Rays. So Mr. Legladder, if you were around, it had to have been Friday because he was on the stream. I think it was Friday, and even I think in after hours or the closing bell, somewhere right around power hour on Friday, when I was kind of wrapped up the shop on Friday. I go live a lot longer. Most days in the afternoon, I'll go live in the afternoon again, or power hour. If like tomorrow, if JP's talking or whatever it is, I'll have my stream all day long, and of course I'll pop back on mic. They couldn't wait to watch it. And he stuck around. I put it on, and then at the end, man, thank you for playing that. You could tell he couldn't wait to see it, and stuck around and stayed. And that was on a Friday afternoon. So that you can tell awesome. A lot of traders are looking forward to that. So I can't wait to have those and have traders watch them, because they definitely love it. The good information, they're all about 25 or 30 minutes long, which are nice. They'll keep you in tune, so it's not too long-winded where you're starting to kind of yawn and getting annoyed, or, this is not really keeping my interest. No, you'll be glued, and it'll keep your interest the whole time.
Yeah, in total, there's 8 episodes. It's going to be, that's probably up towards 3.5, 4 hours total of information. And I mean, honestly, I can't wait to watch them. I could probably learn something sitting there watching them, because some days I don't do what I say, Some days I get stubborn and break my own rules. So I need to go back and watch them too. XHLD, this one's kind of head and shoulder as this penny theme, dude. This is insane. If you guys are interested in this kind of ticker, 75 cents holding up, 90 cents top there, head and shouldering up towards that 75, necklines around VWAP. So that's a ticker in play.
That's what I was looking for kind of earlier on SMR, for that same sort of setup to build and take that short back under. Got room on SMR. Not a lot on XHLD on the way down, but definitely a little bit of room there. And that's exactly kind of reminds me of the old school Arby's hat. So pull back up XHLD again.
XMR's looking decent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. XHLD reminds me of the old school. Do you remember the Arby's hat? Like the big 10-gallon bucket hat? You remember the old school Arby's logo or whatever it was? With the big 10-gallon bucket hat? There's your 10-gallon bucket hat right there, baby.
Yeah, and just crack that trend right there around the 70. So, I mean, you got to get the 10 cents with TTP, so be mindful of that. That may be challenging where it's at now. But yeah, your SMR is looking
Beautiful.
fairly heavy, like right there around the 43, 40s. It couldn't get back over.
I like it. And yes, that's what I thought it was, Mr. Link. Mr. Frank Legladder. Leg ladders. Where on Saturdays we sell our ladders for half cost or half price. I think half price sounds better. Not half price. Half price ladders on Saturday over at Leg Ladders. Also on Sundays, half bag or half price. I can't get it down. Half off your bags of ice. Crazy how many people still buy bags of ice. Lots of people still buy that. I'm like, man, lots of bags of ice being bought out there.
From what I see, it's people who's like their ice maker stops working.
Right. And they make that's huge money. You got to think about bagged ice, how much money they're making off frozen water. Like, I mean, they're making
$3 a bag.
Yeah. Right.
$3. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
They're gonna kill it. Probably the overheads, like where they place them.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Yes.
That's probably.
It's kind of one of those things like where, again, like gas stations, it's like Costco or even Walmart does it now, or Sam's. They have those, the rotisserie chickens that cost like $5. It costs like nothing, but it's like to get you in the door. And the next thing you know, they're making all the money on all this other stuff. Where they're losing money on those chickens, but they're making so much on a lot of other stuff.
You come in for a rotisserie chicken, you leave with like a OLED TV.
Yeah. Well, got to put something on the game tonight. This looked good. They said it was on sale for $4.99.
Eat me a rotisserie chicken. Yeah, because the TVs are all at the front. That's all.
Yes, exactly. And that probably costs them like $80 per TV, and they're selling them for $500 or $400 or whatever. Mm-hmm. You think you're getting a deal? You're like, all right, got a rotisserie chicken for $5 and a TV for $500. Oh, I got a deal today. Walmart's laughing on the way out. They're like, yeah, we just made $400 off of you.
I'm very aware of these things since, for me, psychology is so important with trading. So it's like, the milk in the back, for example, or the cereal boxes, they shrink how you can't see them, right? They thin out,
right.
They're the same height. So you never know that. They're just shrinking to the point where it's going to be pickle thin. You have like one bowl of cereal per box.
Yes. Yeah. Some bags of chips even do that too. You can tell, like when you open a bag of chips, it's like halfway full.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing it.
You gotta give her a little squeeze, right?
Yeah, Frank. I thought that was on Friday, so yeah, I'll hopefully get some more of those from Kev Bo, and hopefully play another one this week. Kevin, don't forget this Friday for sure. Back on for Halloween with me. I'm doing that roundtable discussion. So get on Thursday or Friday, I should say. I'll remind you, of course, Thursday, but Friday, 100% with that roundtable discussion for sure, and you to join in.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for that. It'll be a good time. Halloween roundtable discussion. It'll be a good time.
You got to come. You got to dress up though. You got to dress up.
Wait, Michael Myers.
Yeah, right. We all dress up as like scary movie characters. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason. Still looking at SMR here, kind of that little head and shoulders pattern. Again, I'm just waiting for that VWAP to see how she reacts around it. If we crack the VWAP, going in short on that for the move down to the 41s. Like that setup on SMR. Same kind of look there for, XHLD that Kevin was talking about. Those two look good.
Right. Yeah. SMR looks against that 43, even 43, it cracked under.
Yeah.
43.40s. It's not bad there, SMR, for a move on down. Outside of that, and lung is still kind of holding up. So the analysis was correct from Mr. Josh on this, right? The stair-steppy nature of it still kind of stair-stepping here. 250 being that resistance right now. So we'll monitor the action on lung. And, lung, just looking at the daily, this is a theme we've been seeing lately. She just hit a 52-week low, and it came out with some news. I can't tell you.
I was like, I can't tell you, Kevin, seriously, since we've seen the spikes. It started, and the reason I remember that because I started doing my own little thing, streaming live on my own day, Monday through Friday. It's the start of July. June and July, I can't tell you how many plays I've said bottom right-hand corner, as in it was in the 52-week low. I can't tell you how many plays we have seen that have spiked that were in the bottom right-hand corner of the chart, 52-week low area, if not even, 104 week as in 2, 3, 4-year lows. It just been slowly but surely, dying off into the right-hand corner of the chart. I would say minimum 50. We may have even seen 100 probably since, July that have been 52-week low, if not low or whatever, bottom right-hand corner tickers. And then how many we on the transverse side of that, how many we've seen hit 52-week highs over the past, week or two, I say week or month or two or three or four. I mean, even going, if I'm not mistaken, going back over to BYND. BYND hit 52-week high. That was one of the most recent ones that hit 52-week high recently. So we've had a lot of tickers here. They're in the bottom right-hand corner or they're hitting 52-week highs. And I can't tell you how many times I've said that over the end of the summer, into the fall now.
Right. I mean, absolutely correct. Yeah. The summer was a wild time. A lot of volatility on those names.
Yep. Good job there, Tim, too. I kind of see what you're doing there. Getting in top, trusting the areas, liking the area, liking the line, but having a nice tight stop. And that's what you got to do, especially when you kind of see the setup.
I like that. I mean, it's right or right out, Tim. That's good.
Right.
He recognizes it's a C setup, so it's like it's right or right out. He has the exits at his entry. It's kind of like your trade, Josh. With it's like when you are getting involved in momentum or the halt, your halt strategy. It's either it's going to work or it's not. And against that, it's invalidated for me. I think that's the most important thing, guys. To have your predefined setup before entering. And if it doesn't work, just take the loss and move on. Don't keep
got to. Yeah, it's just one of those things where that's you have to be that way with some setups and trades. 100%. You got to have a little bit more of that discipline, so to speak, overall too. It's not always going to be there. There are setups that you'll give more the room to run a little bit. So to speak. Got to let it move and move around a little bit. CR Trader talks. His verbiage is let it breathe, but yeah, you've got to give it some room. A lot of the time. Here goes XHLD too, by the way, if you are taking that short. Good job there, boss, with that alert. So XHLD, they're coming on down for more. There's a crack of that uptrend channel. Your 10-gallon bucket hat, cracking the VWAP in the bottom of the shoulders. Looking like we're going to get that same setup and move down here for SMR, and that's the one I'll be looking to trade if you guys want to take a stab at it as well. XHLD, hard to do that with Trade the Pool. You need your 10 cents. But again, if you have if you're a scalper, especially those traders out there under $1, a lot of the time that's where you are scalping 5 to 10 cents at a time. And not a bad short right there. Got the VIX futures moving up. Gotcha. Yeah, it's still like I figured overall, and it will stay that way in my opinion. Little slower this week up until tomorrow, and then it really could start to get a shift once JP talks, and we have earnings reports like we've talked about tomorrow afternoon and more on Thursday. So I'd imagine Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for a large cap base, that is, we really see much more movement. I really do feel like tomorrow, I know for you traders that do look at large caps or SPY, tomorrow into the JP, in my opinion, FOMC, I think it's going to be slower, a lot slower.
SMR trying to touch that 43 resistance. Tim, LUNG, yeah, it's volume's lightening up on LUNG. It could turn here. Had had its volume wick right up in that high right there, 253. So if volume fades from here, this thing could start, selling on down a little bit.
And call-in show, don't forget that on Thursday too as well. So of course we'll have our normal 2 hours, 1 hour with the boys, 1 hour after talking stocks, and then the call-in show will, we got the good call-in show. It always starts a little slow, and then everyone starts to get the, they get the I got a call, I got a FOMO, I want to call in, I want to call in, and it was fun last week. Had 3 callers, and especially more and more calling at the end of that show last week. Went a little bit longer, but still fun. So good topic last week. We'll come up with another good topic this week here, and get ready for another call-in show on Thursday.
Yeah, and James won the 5K eval, so I know that got loaded up in his account. I'm excited to hear how he's doing with that.
Oh yeah, we talked about that too. Seeing how if he was going to be, if that would work with them with the $100 and the stop loss, this, that, and the other. So yeah, don't forget. Same thing for this Thursday call-in show. We'll take in some calls. We'll have a topic. We'll talk about that. Of course, tease that in this hour on Thursday. Call-in show starts right around noon p.m. Eastern, lunchtime on Thursday. And yeah, best story, best caller gets a 5K eval. Not too bad.
Yeah, long. This is what I was looking at, Tim. So we have you see the increase in volume, bottom of the chart here. We saw that, and oftentimes that is going to be the high if volume starts trickling out. So we could see that. I mean, again, I like your theory. 250 breaks. That's going to be invalidated off of that theory. So you see it right now testing 240 out. It could just play it against that 250 for a fade on down, really to 220. 220 would be probably the first profit target area on the short, as that's going to be a level of support. And then the rest we're flexible with, right? On the rest of the profit side, we're flexible with. But triple topped up here at 250 from after hours, and it gave them an exit. Gave them another exit. There's that ball up there. So 250 is holding up right now. Volume's fading a little bit. Be mindful of that. W key still holding. I'm not going to take a trade there. That was kind of just... I mean, what pattern is this, right? I mean, it's... I'm not going to take this on the short side. You could buy it off of the VWAP or against this low, the 1350s. Right now, it's still kind of strong. SMR, what's she doing? SMR got up through that 43, maybe forming a right shoulder. 5 minute, 5 minute chart shows clean, head and shoulders. Let's take a look at the 5 minute.
Yeah.
Oftentimes.
Just sitting back and waiting on that one under that VWAP area. Just wait on it. Wait on it. If you want to get it, that resistance area, kind of you're talking about 43.40. Just sometimes in that area, what will happen, you get a good down. And I look at that, a little downtrend break in volume. So I'm looking at the volume. If we could ever move past overall, essentially, and eclipse that downtrend that we're forming and move back up and have higher volume in a 5 minute candle, it will squeeze the new high of day. And so that's why I like just letting this volume die out even more. If it does, great. Come back down to that VWAP 42.25 area and take that short underneath that. Sit back and wait. Patience right here, as we talked about, as far as get to this time of the day anyway. Don't want to overtrade, overstay. You're welcome, so to speak, especially stock market does not like that. You take your trade, you get out. Take them and go. Take them and go. Yeah, haven't that really? So, and do y'all? We'll just have to. I have to ask. It just seems like it would be a theme. You with the kids, do you and the wife have to dress up? Did the kids make you dress up, or is it one of those things that you just feel obligated to do so, or is there no dressing up?
Well, I mean, the kids are. So my son, he's Toad from the Mario movies, and then the daughter's Princess Peach, and then I don't have a costume, so.
Nothing.
Dad,
huh?
Maybe I should be Mario. Yeah, I'll probably get something like that. Keep it Mario themed.
Is there a? I was going to say, is there a character in the Mario world that has a red head? Has the orange red hair? You could be that guy. I don't think there is though.
Bowser.
Yeah, yeah, right. You could be that guy. Oh no, you're Mario when he's on fire. You're Mario when he has the fireballs.
There you go.
I think his hair may even turn. I think it does turn red orange there when he's shooting the fireballs out. He goes like to the white suit. I think he does. Let's see. I'm going to Google that. Mario fireballs. Yeah. No, his hair stays the same color. Dang it. I think maybe the old one, it may look like it changed, but yeah. No, I think his suit does turn white. I know that. He goes to like a red suit with like white underneath it. I thought maybe his hair changed as well, but I don't think it does.
Which you and Avery doing?
Oh, nothing. She loves kids that come over the neighborhood, so she'll usually dress up, and then and that's the thing too. We'll go, and I tell her, I'm like, hey, what you get 2 bags of candy, because it's crazy how expensive candy is now. And so I'm like, listen, I ain't buying candy for all those kids. So what we usually do is we buy 2 things of candy, 2 of our favorite that has the mix or whatever, all the different ones in it. And we do 2 buckets. We do a bucket we keep, and then we do a bucket we pass out candy. Yep. We say, we're going to hold some back because, those kids will just go in there and grab handfuls, which is fine. But, like there will be some years where like we've done that in the past where we get candy and just put it all in each. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, because we want candy in the end, and the ends up will be at the end of the night. There's like no candy left. And we're like, oh, man. So now what we do is we kind of put a little secret stash away and let the kids come in and take what they want. We're always happy with a little left over there, but nothing. We don't ever do anything. We used to when we were younger, like Halloween parties or the best one I ever did. I'll tell you this. I came up with it, kind of got an idea. I forgot where I saw it at. But we did the coolest year we did, of course, back in the day, probably a little over 10 years ago, right around 10 years ago, we'd still go out. I don't know how many years we still did this, but we'd go out and go to a cool place that had a Halloween contest or a costume contest. And I actually made the finals one year. I didn't ever win, but I made the finals. And it was actually a created character called the Serial Killer. So I got boxes of cereal and, put them all up against, made a costume with boxes of cereal, and they were like torn open. And then I had knives going into them, and blood was all over the place, and I had blood, and like cereal on my face. And so I looked like the cereal, I look like a serial killer. I love some cereal.
Mhm.
So that actually did pretty good. Everyone's
Very
like, "Oh, that's
creative.
cool, serial
Yeah.
killer." Okay, I get it.
I got you.
That was my best ever. Oh, and I think I've talked about this before. The best I ever did. And these are both kind of this one definitely was all me. So Avery was, when she worked for the company she used to work for, they did a Christmas party, and they also did a Christmas like a bad sweater contest, right, or whatever. And Avery and her best friend did like they got like elf outfits, and they look super cute. They won. They weren't ugly. I'm like, what the heck? And I know it was for the company that they work for, and I'm like, but they didn't dress they dressed cute, and they won. Here's what I did. I got an ugly old Christmas sweater. I got an old wreath that I had that was in the shape of a Christmas tree, and I glued it to this ugly sweater. So I have literally a wreath, a Christmas tree wreath on my sweater, glued to it. I then get lights on it, put little Christmas little balls on it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not done yet, because I don't know where it hit me. But if you ever watch SNL back in the day with Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg, you remember the skit Dick in a Box. Well, what I did was I got a cool little box that we had, looked like a gift, and I rigged it to where my belt went through it. So I had a Christmas tree on the ugly sweater, all decorated with lights and balls or whatever, and a garland or whatever in it. It looked like a Christmas, like an ugly Christmas tree from the 80s. And then I got a little Christmas present right below because of, I had it going through my belt. Bro, it was the coolest. Everyone's like, "Oh, that is the coolest thing." I had a Christmas tree on my ugly sweater with the Dick in the Box, right below it. And when, it was a Christmas tree right there. So everyone got the Dick in the Box joke. And I'm like, and then I lose to Avery and her best friend as they were dressed up as elves. Oh, I was like, oh, not that I would have won anything because it was for her company. I don't know what the winner got, but, and that was the best. That was, and what's funny, I kept that sweater up until this house and this move to this house that we live in now. But after it was like the third or second move we've had since I've created that sweater. It was so messed up and gone. It was sad to throw away. I had to throw it away. I was like, no, my ugly sweater that I created. I still have the box though, so I can create another one. But if you ever have an idea for an ugly Christmas tree sweater contest, now you have one. Get you an ugly sweater, find your wreath that looks like a Christmas tree. However, I glued it. I probably could have sewn it to it. I glued it and made it really heavy, but it worked and it looked amazing. And I loved it. That was the coolest costume I ever came up with on my own.
That should be hanging in your backdrop right now.
Yeah. Right? Yes. Took second place in a Christmas ugly. Oh, but it was a good idea. BYND does have a little bit of a sandwich area right here being built up. Old resistance, new support right there at $2.15. So watch for that VWAP to 215 crack. Watch for that slow hangover move back on down. It is also starting to form a little bit of head and shoulders in the 3-minute time frame with your shoulder, your head, and the possible right shoulder. And here's what we talked about on long. That bull flag now is held up into this beautiful channel overall with 235, 237 support. Does look like it wants to squeeze and go for more here coming up soon. So just really what we're working with, 10, 15 cent, 20 cent movers when it comes to your true small cap plays, and then your W keys, your wolves of the world that have kind of turned into almost mid caps, smaller or larger small cap plays. You're maybe getting 50 cents, 30 cents. You're not getting a lot of movement here over the last hour. And it's one of those things where it's know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And it's getting to that point of putting the brakes on and knowing when to fold the day and just call it a day and move on to the next one. The only trade and setup I still like is back under this VWAP and continuation down here for SMR like we talked about earlier. Smash the like for the stories. Yes, you know it. Serial Killer is awesome. Yeah, Serial Killer was great. I can't remember what cereal boxes I had on there. And then, those were both within about a 2-year period. The Serial Killer was 2013. 2015 was the ugly Christmas sweater costume. And I'll never forget, I'm not kidding you. Both of those, it was kind of one of those things, Kevin, where you're, as a man, as a human, you're kind of going like, oh yeah, I got something, where you walk out of the bedroom. And you're like, oh, yeah. What do you think, baby? I did good, didn't I?
How do I look?
Yeah, right.
Be honest with me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
W key testing out. You guys can kind of see it's in a little ascending triangle pattern. It's got higher lows forming here. If you're long this, you got your support down there, 1470s. If this is going to make a next leg up, it's testing out some resistance. So be mindful of that. Good stop, Tim. Good job sticking with that stop, even if she works here, which it just rejected off of that. Man, 250 hard reject. But good job sticking with it. That's what's going to keep you in the game, the longevity of it.
Missed that. Actually moved down on the SPY, and I actually talked about this on my live stream earlier. Don't trade the SPY much, but I talked about this going down to pre-market low area and watching for a dip buy somewhere right around the 684.50, 684.75 mark, and she just got that sweep down to that area. Didn't quite hit it, though, but their SPY finally got a move off that VWAP. Was literally just glued to the VWAP for the past hour or so. And now finally getting that little bit of a move down. But still, I still feel range bound for the most part tomorrow. We're not going to see any big $5 to $7 move or anything like that. And yeah, W key right there with you. Just in that uptrend channel that you have marked off to as well. Same uptrend that I have. It just seems like it's in this uptrend channel, so to speak, on that trend line as you kind of working our way up. And XHLD, again, for your shorters out there, working out nicely. Kevin talked about it. Beautiful 10-gallon bucket hat head and shoulders there, cracked with that VWAP. Again, nothing major there on XHLD, but good move. Slow and steady eddies here, like we talked about today. Slow and steady eddies.
If we had called that crack 70 to 57, you'd have your 10 cents.
Yep.
Yeah, it just a little, it's hard to say. Sometimes it keeps me from trading them because I'm like, it's going to be close, that 10 cents.
Yep. And just like, a lot of the time, too, this is where I start building in that discipline of just watching. I don't have to be a part of every trade, like I was saying earlier to Nosh. Just give me a piece of the pie sometimes here and there, and I'm happy. I don't have to have a whole pie every day. I know that's not going to come. So if I can just get a slice or two, some days it's going to be just the crust I eat. You got to take like the stock market, as I always say, with a grain of salt. You just don't know what you're going to get. Life is like a box of chocolate. Same thing here in the stock market. There have been times, just great examples. There have been times where it has been crazy, banger, busy in pre-market. Get about an hour after the opening bell and it's crickets. Or it's crickets in pre-market for small caps, and then you get an hour after the opening bell and you got bangers left and right. Some days you'll have great chart setups for large to mid-cap plays where you see a great setup that you usually attack. It doesn't come to fruition. Opposite, there are days you don't see really anything. Next thing you know, Tesla's flying and has a great day, or Amazon or AMD or whatever it is, and you weren't even looking at it. That's the stock market. It's just like life. There are going to be times where you expect something, see something, and trade it, and it works out great. Then there are going to be times like, for the most part, that is the stock market. You're not knowing what to expect. That expected value has to be minimal to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still holding BYND, that 215 area. Got that little bit of support line. Got a little bit of sell-off there. A little bit of a sell-off, not major. I would like W key, honestly, as well, if it could pop up quickly. I just don't think it's going to. It's just the spread's got it too. Spread on the play now is about 10 cents. Even with low volume, if volume comes in, it's going to, in my opinion, make the spread get a little bit bigger. I would love that up top. I love that 16 to 16.25 fail resistance, but it's going to need to happen, as I always say, too much, too fast, too quick. Euphoric move, as you talk about, Kevin, a really solid, fast move up. I just don't know that we're getting that right now today. I don't think we're going to at all, honestly. What's up, G. Del Corfmel? I fell asleep last night. Yeah, good night almighty. That was a late one. We talked about it a little bit earlier. That was a late game last night. Hey, when you go essentially almost 20 innings, yeah, you can talk. Yeah, that's going to be a long one. That's a late night right there, brother. That was a late night. Yeah, London market about to close down too. Yeah, that's why I always talk about this too. TAC. I always talk about pre-lunch. Huge when it comes to mid to large cap plays. Even a lot of the time, small caps. Not always generally, because of course they can run on their own clock. This is what I always talk about this time of the day. You get to around 11, you get to 12, especially Eastern time. You get to 1 Eastern time. That little hour to 2 hour stretch. That's why for the longest time I'd have traders. It's lunchtime. Don't take trades. Sit on your hands. Take a lunch break. It's such a great thing to do. Come back. That's why they call it power hour, because generally speaking, if we're going to get a move, most times than not, it's going to be coming in that last hour and a half of the day, last 30 minutes of the day, somewhere in there.
Yeah, Lung right here is interesting against the 250s. Now that it smacked it and got rejected.
Line's still working out. That's the thing in the end, like we talked about. It's easy to spot. That double resistance 2 fails there yesterday and after hours. That's why I talked about it earlier. If I'm looking for a short on this play, it was going to be that mark. Not really working out that great. Barely getting 10 cents out of it if you got it. But you can see at least the line is working out. You want to find lines, see if they actually work, and they're working here. And still my favorite, still SMR. If you're looking for a trade later in the day, and Money Mitch talked about it, and I see it a lot too with this ticker. We'll see it play up or move up, and then he kind of reverses, comes back down. It just makes an overall green to red move for the day. We'll see the same thing in large caps. We'll see a green to red move. Goes down, goes down, goes down, then comes back and goes back to the open, or goes up, goes up, goes up, and then comes back down to the open. So I'm really loving this VWAP sitting out flat right at my crack zone right here, knowing there's no charting really to hold this play up. Even going back in time here to say yesterday's chart, which I love to do, there's nothing there. Okay, let's go back to the day before that. Right? So you keep going back in time at this 42, 43, 41 area. We were never there. We've been down sub 40. We have to go all the way back to last Tuesday to find that area where I want to take it down into. And that's the high from last Tuesday, a week ago today. Absolutely love that I want to take it down to a week ago's high. And it's $1 away, essentially, from my crack zone or close to it. So just sitting back, waiting on that. If I take a trade for the rest of the day, I've already eyed it out. Do this most days anyway. Sit back, wait for my trades, eye it out, and just wait for the setup to form. When it forms, and I just wait for the trade to happen. If it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, I will see every other trader in the stock market tomorrow. No forcing.
Right. Yeah. Forcing.
Nope.
Forcing don't work.
Don't put that triangle in the circle over there now. You would see that as a kid. I'd always have one of those, you'd have one of those friends that was, you would always be older and he would be younger, and you'd see him over there trying to put like the cylinder into the triangle or the triangle into the square thing, and I'm like, oh, that's not working, bro. Why are you trying to force that in there? And he's just trying as hard as he can to get that triangle into that circle. And it's just like, it's not going to work. You're forcing it. Wolf Slow and Steady Eddie play too as well. Nice little dip buy, liquidation back down. I'll get really quickly. Love this play for slow and steady eddies. Kind of the same thing we're seeing here on SMR pop up. It's real reversal, right? So reversal. I love seeing that in the chart. Actually held it here. And we could hold it on SMR and this continues to pop. This is kind of your buy bounce area, though. When you see this in the market, nice tight flag. We squeeze, we go for some. Nice little move there, essentially. New high of day. Find this in that high of day move. I know this is a little misprint. Doesn't happen all the time in the stock market. It's just pretend it's not there, so to speak, in my opinion. But when I do see something that is there, and I know it's there, would be these. You have this reversal down, up area right through here. I love that coming in for a bounce play. It's not much. Doesn't seem like a lot. But I promise you, when you find that in small to mid cap plays, that is going to be your dip buy area. Somewhere through these lower shadows is where you'll dip. Dippy, baby. Oh my God, how about this? You gotta love this, bro. Get an email of our energy supplier emails, sends emails out.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to your old fridge or freezer and I'm gonna fill in the blank here. Fill in the blank. Tim, Tack, G Delcor, anyone that wants to respond. How much money do you think they're willing to give you? Schedule a free pickup. And you will keep your fridge or freezer. I think they will keep your fridge or freezer out to the landfill. I think they mean we'll take your fridge or freezer out to the landfill. They put we'll keep your fridge or freezer out to the land. Out of. Okay, I'm reading that wrong. Out of. Anyway, Kevin, say goodbye to your freezer or fridge. How much money do you think my energy company is willing to give you?
To say goodbye to your freezer and fridge.
How much? How much money do you think they're willing to give you? You're gonna laugh when I tell them or when I say
$50.
Oh, you're close. You're close.
Well, you said you're gonna laugh. That's why I said $50.
Yeah. $25, dude. 20. Yeah, G
Delcor's the winner.
G Delcor wins. Oh man, $25. $25 for your freezer or your fridge. I'm like, that thing just better be.
Does that include the haul-away?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, the haul-away's free. Yeah, you got to pay them. You got to pay them $25 back. Oh man, that is absolutely hilarious seeing that. I'm like, really? You're gonna pay me $25? Noke is live. Good job there, Tack. That was halted up earlier on a PR. So Nokia, talks about, here we go. Shares are trading higher after NVIDIA will make a $1 billion equity investment in the company.
Yep.
Okay. So this PR just dropped there about 15 minutes ago over on 15, 20 minutes ago that NVIDIA will make
$750. Yep.
Yeah. Will make a
$1
$1
billion
billion investment. That is massive. That is huge right there. So we'll see how much that pops up Nokia. Hey, how about this? Being around long enough, I know you're a little bit of a younger, generation to sell. When did you get your first cell phone?
Oh, my first cell phone was the Razor. Do you remember that?
Okay.
thing?
I do remember that was Motorola.
Yeah. Yep. Motorola.
If you've been around long enough, here you go. My live stream is up. This is the one I grew up on. This is the first cell phone that my parents had one before this, but this was my first one. The Nokia, this one right here from 1998. This guy right here, I'll never forget this guy. I was about 14 years old. It was my parents' cell phone. This actually extended out. You could stretch that out.
Oh, and you thought you were hot stuff too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
that thing out. You were like,
yeah. I think, and this is the one you played Snake on too as well. This was the more upgraded one, but I remember because this is the first one you could change out and have different colors. So you could get yellow, red. You could change the faceplate of it. You could get a different. It didn't have to be this like boring color right there. Yeah, very first cell phone. And there they go. There we go. There you go, buddy. Yeah, there you go.
You were fast on them too, I'm sure.
Oh God, dude, no. So 2002 or 3. What was the oh my gosh, flip phone from 2000?
Oh, I had that one too, like flipped out, and it had a whole freaking keyboard on it.
Yes, this guy, like one of these right here, one of these kind of, I forgot, I think it may have been this one, but yeah, one of these flip out was the one that I'll never forget. I was in college freshman year, and I could type, because it was the one you had to go ABC, and then you had to go.
Yep.
I could do that and type, like they were like, I'll never forget. It was we were eating lunch one day, and it was
love the sound effects.
A group of people. Oh, and they were just like, they were just looking at me like, how do you? I felt like I should be like on a game show or something at that point. I felt like a god, where they're like, how do you do that? And I'm just like Neo in the Matrix over here, like, like sending 80 texts off.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm the fastest texter at the University of Arkansas. What? Yeah. Those, and the Blackberries were big back in the day, Tack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you got arthritis these days from all that.
Yeah.
All that typing, texting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the words per minute on the computer, and then they got the words per minute on those old flip phones.
Right after the beeper, yes. Yeah. Look at you guys. You remember, it looks like a burner. Yeah, like right after the beeper. Yeah. Yeah, Motorola, it's crazy because speaking of Nokia, I mean, it hasn't really done anything, obviously, and they don't really, I'm sure they make phones. I guess still, I don't really know. I haven't looked into them, but boy, yeah, it's just crazy to think late 90s, early 2000s, Nokia and Motorola ruled cell phone world. Like it was just either when you had a Nokia or you had a Motorola. And those were the two.
Long, it looks like 250's holding up now, guys. BYND gave it back as well, hitting some resistance up there in the 230s.
Yep, same setup as far as Wolf and SMR2. Really look at those plays. We'll go to a 5-minute time frame on my ticker for both of them. But very similar looking chart setups today, Wolf and SMR. Love that setup there. So if you're looking for longs, SMR and Wolf, very similar chart setups today. This is ideally a good long setup. And then there's your short there on BYND. Like Kevin was talking about that sandwich area. Back through 215 in the VWAP watch for short. Not a lot there on the bone. Not a lot of meat on the bone, as I always say when it comes to stock trading. I like a little more meat on my bones there for getting trades in, but not bad there at all. Wolf there, I'd watch for continuation over 17.
Fake meat, though. Come on. BYND.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take the fake meat on down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Smoke too. I remember the ringtones were huge. Yeah, everyone had to have, even before that, when you had the fake ringtones, when it was like, dun, dun, I remember on those Nokias or Motorola's, you could create your own ringtone where you could like press in the buttons and create your own. But I remember when it was like Dirt Off Your Shoulder from Jay-Z, it was like, and it was just the audio, and it wasn't the actual words and the verbiage or whatever. And then it came to that where you actually had ringtones and like it was like, you had to pay for those, you had to pay to have someone's song to, essentially so when someone called you, because I remember that was like my girl.
They did charge for that, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did charge. It was like 99 cents or something. They would charge you.
Because like, I mean, like my girl would have like a would have a ringtone, and then my dudes would have a ringtone, and whatever it was. Yeah, and then now, like you're saying, now no one has ringtones. You just have whatever your phone ring. You just change your ringtone on your phone of whatever. No one has an actual song essentially. Some do. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. But I'll be like in Walmart. You'll see those people still living, kind of like when you see some ladies and some guys that are still living in the 80s, and you can tell they're still living in the 80s because they're still wearing the same clothes and still have the same what's it called? Oh my God, the mullet. You'll see women still rocking that 80s haircut. And you're like, have you been rocking that haircut since 1987? Like still? You'll see people in the mall. Well, if you go to the mall, or like every once in a while I'll be out and all of a sudden you'll hear their ringtone go off and it's a song playing and it's just obnoxious and loud as can be. But you'll hear it every once in a while. You'll hear someone's phone ringing and it's an actual song. And like, oh, they're still using songs for ringtones. Oh yeah, they're living in 2008, baby. Sounds like Liz Lemon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Theme to success. There we go. Hey, some people still have it. She had horrible ringtones. Yeah. That was the thing back in the day. I'll never forget that for sure. And it was even crazy to think of how people had those little MP3 players. You had like a little device that held all your music. Of course, now it's, anyway, but it's just crazy that
those companies. The 8-track, didn't you? That's your time.
Oh, you know it, baby boy. I was walking around. No, I was boomboxing. I had the boombox on the shoulder, I had the tape player, and I just had 2 huge speakers on either side of my head. Boom, chicka, boo, 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 boo. I'd get down and do some break dancing for you. Oh yeah, those are good old days. You grew up in the CD, the Walkman days. I don't know if you had the little portable CD players, but that was huge. Kind of right when you were, I would say probably right when you were 10, 15, those were dying off, but. That was huge for me, like in 98, 99, having a CD player with anti-skip, 10-second anti-skip. It had like an anti-skip so it wouldn't skip, because it's a CD and you have the little portable CD player and you're trying to walk around with it. Tape player is different. If you have a tape player, that thing doesn't skip. But if you remember CDs, they have to sit flat anyway. So you loved when you got a portable CD player that had an anti-skip so it wouldn't skip. And then the Indie Glow. So it wasn't just like white and black. So if it was at night, and you're on a car trip, and I've been there. It's like playing the Game Boy at night. Unless you have some sort of light, you have no idea what number you're on or what But you loved it when it would like light up blue in the background. And then speaking of Timex watches and having an Indie Glow watch back in the day, nothing like it, my man. Right around when you were born, mid '90s, having an Indie Glow watch. You press a little button on your watch, and the little blue face lights up.
Oh, I missed out, huh? Missed out.
You missed out being able to see your time in Indiglo, baby.
It sounds like you're reminiscing here, the nostalgia. Like, man, if I could go back to those good old days.
Because it was funny because, it was funny how watches were kind of got to that cool level in the mid 90s like that. Because one of my buddies, when I was in grade school, we had the school I went to had TVs, in every room, up in the top corner or whatever, all mounted, those big block ones. He had a watch that you could you could turn your TV on. You could control your TV actually from your watch. I thought it was the coolest darn thing in the world. And I remember, never forget, one day while the teacher was out, he programmed the TV to his watch. And so one day he was turning the TV off and on from his watch, and the teacher just could not figure out what was going on. Of course, as a kid, when you're in 6th grade, he was like the king that day as he's messing with the teacher. And you're just like, Mom, I've got to get that watch where you could turn the TV on and off. She's like, what? Like, nah, not getting that for you, buddy. But Mom, Charles, what was his last name? Charles something was his last name. All right, last few minutes here.
We were big fish back in the
Charles
day.
Patterson.
Then,
Charles Patterson was his last name. I remember now. Charles Patterson was his name.
Life humbles you the older you get. You were big fish back in the day. If you're not humbled, the market will. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, right. Well, nothing here for the rest of the day. My plays are going up, which fine for Wolf. We get the breakout over 17. Looks like we're going to get it. SMR's not going to give us that crack back under. XHLD did, so that was not bad from XHLD. And that moved down slowly but surely, matriculated its way back down to that 50, almost 50 cent range. So 15, 20 cents there. Beautiful setup. I mean, put the trend line in. It cracks the VWAP. You crack the head and shoulders. Base of the shoulders goes. That's what I wanted on SMR. It's kind of the same setup there. So for me, calling it a day, getting ready for JPOW tomorrow, FOMC, of course, we got earnings reports over the next couple of days. See how that fares. And of course, into Thursday, getting ready for another round of fun with you guys in the call-in show. And of course, Friday with the roundtable. So we'll tease that more on Thursday about my roundtable on Friday. You guys need to come join for free. I know Kevin's live every day for free on YouTube. I'm live on Fridays for free on YouTube. Come join us when we're out here on Trade the Pool. Come over to our YouTube channels, get all the information. Kevin's always putting out posts and stories and going live on Friday night and filling you guys with as much information as possible. Same thing here. So if you guys need any help, follow us on YouTube or, of course, Instagram. I'm Josh Smith Trades on Instagram. I'm big over there on Instagram. I like posting a lot of my stories and what I'm doing here at home with all the dogs and the food. So if you're interested in more of my daily, day in, day out life, go to Josh Smith Trades. You'll see the big blue check mark as I'm verified over there. And yeah, you have a great Tuesday, Kevin. Any last words from you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's been fun with you guys. I think you'll see from today uncommon patience as we discuss uncommon disciplines. Really, what keeps you in the game, the longevity for your equity curve to be moving in the right direction. It can be frustrating, certainly when we want to put on trades, but we gotta We gotta take the edge when it presents itself, not force it out there onto the market. But yes, live every single day on my channel as well. It's good seeing you guys over there for pre-market analysis and finding these setups every single morning. But Josh and I are going to be around. We're going to be helping you guys out. We want to see all of you with Trade the Pool get funded and be making that moolah and have that equity curve going in the right direction. So let us know anytime, guys. If you have any questions, always happy to address them. AveryDayTrading@gmail.com. But otherwise, guys, stick with the plan. Stick with the plan. Embrace the risk per usual. Accept the results, and you guys will be fine. All right,
hey, don't forget to call in to your local energy place. Freezers and fridges going for $25 buckaroonies.
There you go. Love it. Good old Josh. Always having a good time. Leg lighter, thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys per usual. We will see you all. Trade the Pool will be live tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow. Take care.